Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Snazzy Transit Talk. Shout out to those of you in the live chat coming through, showing up. I was about to say showing through, and I was trying to see which one I want. But I set the intention that this transit talk and the message that expresses itself through blesses you. I set the intention that everyone who's meant to be here shows up when they're meant to show up and takes from this message what they're meant to take. Please block out and protect us from any negative beings. Oh, Rebecca, I was thinking about you the other day. I'm so glad. Shout out to you, Rebecca. I was thinking about the later asteroid you taught me about. I've been referencing that a lot. So nice to hear from you. Shout out to Blue Flame. You know what's crazy? Both Blue Flame and Rebecca are Aries Sun and Cap Moon. So I thought that was interesting. Blue Flame, I got your card. I'm gonna be reading you first. All right. And Yanni D, I don't know if you're here yet, but Yanni D, you're gonna be the first astro reading. So I'm gonna be doing live astro readings and tarot readings. Look at the description box below. All right. If you want one, I love you all too. You guys are so fucking awesome. Okay. Yanni D, I got you, bro. So I'm going to basically be looking into Jupiter and Pisces retrograde because Jupiter is currently 0 degrees. And we're going to wait a minute. Where is this? And we're going to look into basically in your chart what this Jupiter retrograde is going to do during Scorpio and Sag season. Okay. Really, really good information. Yes, please email it to me, Annie. Email it to me at thepeacedealer@gmail.com. So yeah, that's $40 minimum. If you would like a card, 20 for 1, 30 for 2, 40 for 3. Love you too, Bonnie. Thank you guys so much. I want to actually just how much for the natal reading live? Look at the description box below. That's going to be $40 minimum, and I will look at your chart. The reason why you want this live reading, okay, is we are at the crux. This is very pivotal because Jupiter coming back, which I'll show you over the next 2 months, is finalizing the nightcap from the 12-year cycle of evolution. So imagine you're working on something, you complete it, and then you kind of like basically what we're doing right now, this whole Jupiter evolution, your car was being worked on in the shop. And I used this analogy before for a Capricorn aspect. So I'm going to use the same analogy, but this time I'm going to use it for Jupiter. Okay. So your car has been in the shop. It's not the best analogy because you were still driving your car the past 12 years, but let's just assume your car has been in the shop periodically. Shout out to you, Rose. Okay. All day. And personally, you finally come out of this 12-year evolution, right? And Jupiter coming into Aries is the identity of your car, right? Because you have leveled up your car, the nature of the car that you have right now, it's identified different, let's just say. And so from May to August was you literally beta testing this new car, and then August back to October was you bringing it back to the shop, and now from October to January you're tweaking it because you completely updated this car, so you took it out on the road to beta test. Now based on everything you beta tested from May till now, you're tweaking it back in the shop to be like, okay, this is how it performed on the road, these are the tweaks we need to make. Then Jupiter is going to go back into Aries in January, and you're taking it out on the road for good for a new 12 years. Then the 22nd of April is going to happen, conjunct Aries with the sun, and that's going to be where you take your car to the Grand Prix and you go on a new 12-year race. So I'm going to break this down again, okay, later in this broadcast. Is it okay if I ask about your perspective on the eclipses regarding my chart instead of Jupiter? Eden, oh, great question. Yes. So if any of you want personal questions, just comment that in the notes. So like Eden asked, like if you don't want me to interpret Jupiter and you would rather me interpret eclipses, great question. We could totally do that too. That's not a problem. Just make sure if you have any specific questions, you comment that in the notes. Okay. Which is beautiful. Jupiter in the fourth house. Yeah, shout out to Jupiter transiting the fourth for anyone. You could be going through a move during that period. And that's amazing. That's amazing that this actually applies to you. Okay, so that's really the whole notion. If we look at this transit, Jupiter is 0 degrees. Okay, and so what we're gonna see is Jupiter retrograde back, and we're going to see this trine. This is a very key transit. The trine is Scorpio. And then, of course, we're going to see the square with the direct 29 degrees. These two transits are so iconic. These two transits are so iconic that these are just 2 months worth of transits. But because they're at the very end of Pisces, you're going to go into more evolution and breakthrough than the entire Jupiter and Aries sneak peek, because you want to see the whole now mechanics of fire and water, right? When you take something and you heat it, and then you heat it, and then you heat it, and then you put it in something very cold, the temperance differential can, like, but it can also be a catalyst to that's just more like a theory analogy, right? But what's really, 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 really key here is to look at these. We're going to look at these, right? Then, of course, it's going to go direct again by Capricorn season. It's in Aries. Okay. This is during the last boss battle. Jupiter's here. So now I'm going to break down the Jupiter phases. This is really cool now, because if you want to go back, one of your homework that you want to do, and you don't have to do this, this is not mandatory homework, but if you go back to the last Jupiter talk I did when Jupiter was just coming out of Pisces, you're going to notice how a lot of what I've said back then, now that you've experienced it, you're going to come into a much greater understanding. This transit talk is best appreciated watched with the previous one, because when I talked about it, Jupiter was just coming out of Aries. Now Jupiter is getting ready to go back into Pisces. And you're going to see a lot that I spoke that sounded a lot more theoretical. Yeah, that's crazy. This is meant to happen. Was actually not theoretical. Like, a lot of it was on point when you listened to it back then, and it's going to be even more on point now. So you don't have to listen to all of it. Listen to what you're called to. If you want to listen to all of it, it's going to still be very relevant, because it's still covering the same period, but this is going to revisit everything. Okay, so what's really beautiful about this is, if you're watching this, the whole purpose of this is to bring you over the top. So your loading screen has basically been completed, and then now you're getting ready to go beyond what you're used to. So this is the precipice right now as we speak. This is the precipice of your evolution. You've done all the work. So everything up until this point was you doing the work to evolve. Now this is the part where regardless of what you're going to do, what you've sowed, you're going to reap. So you're going to evolve. Are you going to evolve and become a greater douchebag and sabotage your life? Or are you going to evolve and become a greater victor and turn over your life to a greater chapter? Not all evolution is good. So we're going to see what level you evolve in. And I want to be very, very clear. That's crazy. You used to be Scar. Scar has evolved to good grief. This is wild. That's mind blowing. Okay, I just want to be clear here. Like, basically, we've just crossed the threshold of expressing evolved abilities, and now you're getting ready to break through with this final level of evolution. So if this was Pokemon, you're evolving into your final form, and now this is the mega evolution. If this was Digimon, you're digivolving into the mega digivolution form or whatever, and now you're teasing the next level and cycle of growth. Because the coolest thing about life, I guess, and its infinite growth or evolution, is you're reaching a final level of growth, and this is going to be the precipice for a whole new journey. So it's almost like being at the end of a movie or a show, and then imagine being introduced to a concept that you thought, if you watch anime, you'll know what I mean. It's like Goku went through his entire journey. Goku went through Dragon Ball, which was a Jupiter cycle, and then he went through the first part of Dragon Ball, which was another Jupiter cycle, right? And then he went through of course, the Namek saga. And like coming at the end of that Jupiter cycle, you've seen Goku evolve and then finally reach Super Saiyan. He reached this level of evolution, which, if you look relatively to the entire show, you look, my nigga Goku is right here. My nigga Goku will tell you because he went through it. So my nigga Goku became Super Saiyan, beat Frieza, avenged, found out the lineage of his whole family. You know what I'm saying? And in that moment, as you were watching it, you thought this was it. This was a new evolution. Fast forward to now, Goku has become Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3 against Boo, Super Saiyan 4 in an alternate universe, and then Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, Ultra Instinct. So you know what I'm saying? Like once he became Super Saiyan, it lit up. Even though that fight was like seasons on, like 5 years, you know, my nigga Goku will tell you in the chat, you know what I'm saying? Like Goku at the precipice of Super Saiyan still went through a whole journey to unlock new evolutions. And even when he made it to Ultra Instinct, you feel me? That just opened up a whole new path to learn a whole new thing. So even though you're about to reach the great, are you know what I'm saying? Scar evolved. We got Son Goku back in the chat. Like, we never miss. We never miss. This is amazing. So, like, you're about to reach a peak state of evolution that's going to take you like farther than you've ever been. And that is still just going to be the beginning. This is only preparing you for the next cycle of evolution that's going to bring the birth of the new generation of gods. That's so every single Jupiter cycle and Saturn cycle has a feat. Like the last Saturn cycle brought in BlackRock. Now at the completion of the last Saturn cycle, BlackRock owns everything. If you look at every stock, like BlackRock has like stock, and they came in Saturn Capricorn. If you look at the last Jupiter cycle brought the Saturn returns of the Pluto Scorpios, right? This next Jupiter cycle is going to bring the Saturn returns of the Pluto Sagittarians. That should terrify you. Pluto Sagittarians are going to come of age and they're just going to burn everything to a crisp. And then the next Jupiter cycle is going to bring the birth of the Pluto Aqua super evil alien genius babies. That should also terrify you. Like, this is why you need superpowers, because when your nephews and nieces and your brother's grandchildren or sons start punking you with their abilities, you're going to need to know some superpowers just to protect you from the fuckery that's just going to happen in your culture. And this is going to happen. It's going to be stuff that's going to be normal to us. You know what I'm saying? So just something to keep in mind. Like, I like to joke about this and say this in an extreme way because there's truth in a lot of this humor. And if you Pluto Sag, you know what I'm talking about. Like, it's easy for Pluto Sag to tell, especially if you're born in the 2000s or late 90s. You know what I mean? But Secret Wars, yep, Secret Wars, Secret Invasion. I've been heavy on the Marvel and DC. So I forgot to say, I want to say this again in the beginning. Oh, 98. Oh, you a 98 Gemini. I see you, Yanni. I see you, Yanni. That's dope. That's dope. Yes, the telepathic conversations. If a lot of you are having I want to speak to this too. Jupiter and Pisces is going to ramp up every single mental illness you don't even know you have so that it can unravel it and then break you through and then heal it. A lot of you are going to lose your mind so that you can gain it again. So the reason why I'm saying this is don't get scared. You're already going to start to feel this now. Many of you now, if you're super crazy as fuck like me or Gemini, if you're a Gemini, or you're super crazy as fuck, or you're heavily Uranian or you're heavily Neptunian, welcome to our world. So this isn't going to make you scared. This isn't going to drive you crazy. You're already crazy. We do this every day. This is actually going to be fun as hell. This is going to be super fun. Like if it was any normal person, like seeing ghosts appear and having telepathic conversations would reasonably drive the average person crazy as fuck, because they're having to be introduced to all of these supernatural concepts at once, and it will induce psychosis. You are going to experience auditory hallucinations, visual hallucinations. Like, these are going to be hallucinations a lot of what you're going to be seeing is not going to be real, but it exists. And it has to be like that because your brain is, your crown chakra is cracking open. And so for that short period of which your crown chakra is cracking open, you're going to go fucking crazy because you're downloading new information and your brain is not used to that. And so it's expanding it with Jupiter, and then it's going to heal it. And then once you're sane again, it's like you've updated it so you can see new things. It's going to be normal. Now, and if you're if this is your normal, now if you're like us, so we live this every day. So we just incorporate crazy ass shit in our day. Like someone like me can just have a 30-minute monologue with spirits that aren't even there for real. And I'll do it like it's normal in public. Like people just be looking at me like, who the fuck is he talking to? Like, if you're crazy, this is gonna be fun as hell. Inner wealth, I got you. Inner wealth, because the spirits are gonna come and try and jump you, and you're gonna be like, the spirits are gonna come and jump you. You're gonna be like this. You know, I've been waiting for you. You thought you would just come and jump me. You don't know I've been crazy all my life. You just adopted crazy. I've been talking to spirits since I was in high school. I've been called delusional since before it was trendy. Before you idiots are getting canceled. They've been worried about me. This is nothing. Them spirits is gonna be shook. Them frequencies is gonna be shook. They gonna become the whole purpose is burden. Your higher self and your spirit guides are exposing you to burden. They're not gonna expose you to more than you can handle, so that that catalyst can evolve you. But it's gonna be different for you. They gonna be shooken. They be coming to jump you, and then they gonna run away like the spirits. You know what I'm talking about? Them spirits that come to try and torment you, but you talk back so much, they get tormented. Like, this isn't going the way you thought it was going to go. You didn't know that I can talk incessantly about nothing for an hour straight. Look at you. You came to torment me. Now the person who summoned you here to torment me doesn't know they tormented you because you can't go until the contract is over. And you thought you were going to get me for 3 hours. And the whole 5 hours, I'm just chilling because I'm really this crazy. It's not a joke. This is not a game. Hold on. My crazy people, this is our time. This is the moment we've been waiting for. This is our time. You didn't know we had a time too? You know they were just going to be tough. Yes. The Pisces, the Gemini is going to be lit. Pisces and Gemini are going to be like, oh my God, I practiced this like my whole life. This is nothing. Hold on. You spirits think they're doing something. I swear to God. Now, for the rest of you normal people, this is what this transit talk is for. I swear to God, like for the rest of you people who are actually normal, I'm not going to say average, but for those of you who actually live a normal life and you just don't have time to do crazy shit every day because you would rather, you care about your image, this transit talk is for you. I have to let you know you're about to go crazy. You're going to go crazy. Now, let me actually break this down. Ye sparked it off for us. Every time I look at Ye, I'm like, okay, he's pushing the boundaries for us Gemini. Ye, we love you. We love you at Gemini Nation. I'm about to literally do a whole. I'm not gonna share the idea yet, but you're gonna see. Okay, so trust me, and that's why if you see people doing stuff that looks like it's crazy, not everyone's crazy. Some people are genius as hell, but they're leveraging how crazy they may look. Gemini. So let me just kind of, let me just kind of. Once again, emphasize that you have been evolving your consciousness for 12 years and more than 12 years. You've been evolving your consciousness your whole life. So relative to the past 12 years since 2010, right, that you have been evolving your consciousness, okay? And by the way, the revolution of the individual is the more people block off, let's say Ye, for example, Ye bought Parlor. So the more people block him, the more, because remember, inevitably he has attention on him. You can't block someone like him. And this applies to you too. Everything that's happened to him applies to you. You just may not have as much followers, but it doesn't. We need a Gemini tier list. Yes. It doesn't necessarily have to be a certain way. So basically, everything he does, people are going to want to report because they want to spin it. So he's in a crucial place where he can make a platform that's not that big be big just because he exists. This is what Trump is doing with True Social. So, like, it's leverage. He's rebalancing the power shift of leverage. Okay. They're reporting something, but really he's taking back his power and he's going to be able to use his resources. And I'm using him as an example because if this happens to you, you can do the same thing. You don't need billions of dollars to do this. You just need your presence and power. Okay, so just keep that in mind. A lot of theories you're going to see around this, but just watch the actions. Follow the money, watch the actions from everyone. Now, here's the thing. The most important, yes, he did. The most important thing about what you're about to witness. First of all, I want to make sure we're clear. You are at the threshold. You are at the threshold. You are still alive right now. 0 degrees is at the threshold. I want you to understand that moving forward, your consciousness, London Short, I got you on a card, okay? Your consciousness is about to catch up to the evolution that your higher self strung it along for years. Relative to 2010, the reason why you've been through many evolutions, but this 2010 to 2022 evolution was a fast tracker. 2010 brought in Pluto in Capricorn 2008 and Neptune in Pisces 2012. Okay, so this is what kind of shifted things. It also brought the advent of Saturn in Virgo coming out of Saturn in Leo back to Saturn and Pisces. So we got the higher Saturn construction, which brought the reset of everything and the end of the world. Okay. So the reason why this is very important, and I'm very, 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 very honored. The reason why it's very important is many of you, maybe not many of you watching, but some of you might have swept under the rug the evolution process. This was a very zany and loony one with Neptune and Pisces. And some people may have, that's why there are a lot of tower moments and a lot of mental health issues, is because a lot of people fought the evolution. There's an inner crazy in you that's not crazy. The inner madness and awkwardness, like the conversation towards mental health and awkward moments and cringe, is going to completely transform once Pluto comes into Aquarius, because there's going to be high levels of cringe that'll be the new norm. So the conversation towards cringe that was brought towards by a whole society of people who think they're cooler than they are, and so they think they're cooler than other people, which now sets these dichotomies, which creates this in the first place, now has to collapse on itself, because these people were never really that cool. Just because you fit into some kind of fashion or more, you can think that, but now the consequence of putting that in your culture and your entertainment, you're seeing in the form of mental health issues. Cool. So many people's inability to embrace their inner madness, the craziness about them, evidenced by the past 10, 12 years, most people awakening would be like, I apologize. Like, remember the 2008 to 2017 period where people awakening had to apologize for everything they did because you were so used to being called crazy for everything you did. It's, oh, I'm sorry. I mean, not everyone did this, but it's like, oh, I'm so, you probably dealt with people like this, or you were someone like this. It's like, oh, I'm sorry this. Oh, I'm sorry that. It's very unconscious. It was very subconscious. And many of you who did that or dealt with people who did that was because you had to grow up your whole life being ridiculed or criticized for being your true self. And so the first part of this awakening for you was getting over you apologizing for being your true self. I'm one of the influences, thank God, and it's an honor, where you can be your real true self around me. And now we're finally reaching the end of this cycle where, plot twist, it was never a crazy self. It was your true self. Because the society we live in is evil, that's why those of you who are pure had to struggle through it. The only people who thrived in this society emotionally are evil people who also hated on other evil people. But this is the revolution and breakthrough, not through you doing some mastermind crazy save the day thing, but just by healing. You healed yourself. You went through shadow work. You confronted dark parts of yourself. That was the heroic work. And now this evolution cycle is having you step through and step into the rewards of your work. Okay. But I need to explain this. Some of you, through each step of the way, in an effort to preserve your image, succeeded in hiding your crazy. What you don't understand is that everybody has madness. You have the unconscious and then you have the conscious. The conscious mind takes the unmanifest, pure essence of yourself, and through logic, Libra balance expresses it so that it can gain some kind of expression. In the light of consciousness, this is what, thank you so much, Kelly, gives your expression form. And so the inner facet of this unrealized genius is called madness. The evolution that we went through stepped you into a higher sense of self, which now evolved the darkness of the unmanifest madness within you. The crazy parts of yourself, which aren't really crazy, they're just the advanced aspects of your energy processing faster than the hardware of your brain could handle. And so many of you instinctually suppressed it, unless you're crazy as fuck like us. For those of you who are crazy as fuck and airy fairy, like I'm a unicorn. I'm not even real. Like I'm a fantasy creature. So I'm openly crazy. For those of you who just expressed it throughout the whole tribe, you were looked at crazy now, and now you're looked at crazier even now. You're looked at crazy then, now you're looked at crazier now. Versus some people who instinctually just suppressed it, they save their image, but now that you're gonna go through it, you're not gonna be able to hide it. You basically just pressure piped yourself and you built it up, and now this retrograde is going to versus if you were just openly crazy, you didn't build up any excess. And this, for those of you who are openly crazy, you have a lot of chakra. Okay, you have a lot of madness. This is magic. The process of magic is taking the madness within you and turning it into genius. If you know Soul Eater, you know about soul wavelength and the lords of madness. Okay, madness is represented in our society as mental illnesses and psychological maladies. Every single mental illness that you have seen ever exhibited in the DSM or in medicine or in psychiatry is an aspect, a physical symptom, a psychological, mental, physical symptom of the spiritual nature of your own madness. The facet of your own energy that has not been expressed through balance. And so because it doesn't have a healthy outlet, it manifests itself through some mental illness. And now the advent of science, as far as it's gone to, can help you with the 3D side. This is where balance, as above, so below. You can't be anti-science to the degree where you dismiss, even though most of the research is inconclusive and incomplete because it's materialist reductionist, it still covers a lot of 3D base. The inconclusive nature of most science is that it doesn't acknowledge anything beyond the 3D unless you're talking about quantum mechanics. And so that makes it inconclusive as a research. Hence why most of it, if not all of it, is theoretical and based on research institutions and inconclusive peer review research, which is as prestigious as they say, because you can replicate whatever, it's still inconclusive, but it does its job to a point of breaking down the 3D side. So when it comes to most of these people's ability to highlight mental illness, right, and the symptoms, right, that come through, medicine has come as far to at least show you the symptoms of mental illness. The problem is society calls the symptoms the problem. The symptoms are not the problem. They're just the evidence of the problem. What most mental illness is are underdeveloped superpowers or an excess of your energy through anxiety that is not balanced. This is why meditation or reflexology or acupuncture can help release these things. Most mental illness is also going to be from that same essence, demon possession, or being taken over by a hostile alien energy, which overloads your circuits, thus stress and anxiety. So that's where it's like, you can't dismiss, when it's done right, 3D clinical research into mental illness, but it at most is just half true. And this is where we're going to see a lot of expansion and growth through this argument because of people evolving their psychic ability. Why is this important? Okay. Jupiter has evolved you, but Jupiter has been evolving with Neptune and Pisces, which has been evolving things beyond your brain's ability to process. Once again, every single one of you have had mind-blowing synchronicities that have induced psychosis because your brain is having to process things that has been lied to that aren't possible. This is going to make you crazy. If you're crazy as fuck like me, you've embraced it as a part of your path, and you're a magical unicorn or fairy that helps other people understand how magical they are too. If you have not embraced this part of yourself, you'll know because you're terrified to let this part of yourself out. If you have let this part of yourself out, you've allowed it to develop its own personality through you, and you have become its avatar. This is the madness form of you that you have manifested as an aspect of your genius. Whereas Uranus in your chart and Neptune, this will let you know how you take the supernatural facet of yourself and through Saturn manifest it. If you haven't done this, you will know because you're fucking terrified of letting it out. And this is where you either did the work or you didn't. Some people didn't do the work. Some people, yeah, they might have pretended that I'm spiritual, I like candles. They did just as much as what mainstream culture said was cool enough. Some of you went off the deep end. You weren't waiting for mainstream culture to say it was cool. You went through the rabbit holes. Some of you went through rabbit holes, and you look crazy as fuck. Every single one of you know who you were and where you were when it happened. Some people didn't go through those rabbit holes. They dodged. Okay. And now their true self, here's the barometer. From May until now was the breakthrough. So this is where you can't dodge it anymore. You had to go through 4 rabbit holes. The one through Gemini, the one through Jupiter Virgo 20. So the one through Gemini 2012, the one through Jupiter Virgo 2016, the one through Sagittarius 2019, and the one through Pisces 2022. If you're a crazy motherfucker, you went through all 4. I'm crazy motherfuckers. If you're a you dived head first into that motherfucker, and people are like, people the whole last 12 years are like, yo, like they have stories about you. And when I say crazy, I'll take accountability too. Now, were you crazy? You were a genius, but there were still elements of your ego you had to surrender. You jump straight into that. The average person went through the 2019 one and the 2022 one. The first 2 were really hard. Like most people didn't go through the first 2. You would have to be super woke or super crazy. Like it's possible you weren't super woke, but you were super crazy. And so that helped awaken you. Or you were super woke and it helped straighten you. I'm crazy as fuck. I went through all 4. I saw the first one, the 2012 one was one. The 2012 one was one of the most fun ones because it was when you just awakened. You didn't know what to expect. It wasn't like the 2019 where you had all the tower moments. You saw the synchronicities. You've been psychically attacked 11 times. And it's just like, oh, another rabbit hole. Really, Spirit? You remember the 2019 one? Right before the pandemic. You were like, really? Another rabbit hole? It was good. It was a good one though. But it was like, really? You said this was the last tower moment. It wasn't like the 2012 one though, when all those fucking conspiracy theory videos dropped and there was starting to be proof, and you were like, oh my god, something's happening. Like, oh shit. Like that shit was hilarious. It was fun. Then there was the 2016 one. The 2016 one with Jupiter Virgo was very key because the 2012 one was still fun. A lot of concepts were still in your head. It was like aliens could exist, like angels could exist. I'm starting to see master numbers. 2016 made that shit real. 2016 was when shit was serious now. That's what led to 2017, 2018, when people started getting shot more. 2016 was when shit got real. That was when it was like, oh, You were no longer a kid awakening. It was like, oh, these secret societies are real, actually. Oh, these angels are real, actually. Oh, this is not just a game. Then the 2019, you've been there, done that. It's like, oh. So the 2022 rabbit hole from January to May of this year was very key because this was the final rabbit hole to where any kind of block you had in being your true self, you surrendered it fully. You knew by 2022, there are just aspects of you that people wouldn't understand, but you wouldn't let that hold you back anymore. Okay. And this is what led from May to now, Jupiter going through Aries. If you went through at least two of the rabbit holes, because if you didn't go through 2012 and 2019 and 2022 were intense, but they would have balanced you out. You just had to go through a lot. Versus if you went through all four, you win the prize. For those of you, for the few of you who went through all four, I'm going to say this again. If you went through 2012, 2016, 2019, and 2022, okay, you win a prize. Now, because it came at the cost of your image. Like if you went through all four, everyone around you in your life just talks about you like you crazy as hell. Especially because a lot of what you were doing right there, like it wasn't like now that it's at least talked about. You were ahead of the curve from a lot of stuff before people even knew what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? Yes. That 2012 was crazy. So if you went through all four, this retrograde back into Pisces is going to be everything you've been wanting and waiting for. It's going to be the culmination, the coup de grace. Kai Reimer, thank you so much. Okay, like this is literally going to be amazing. It like the evidence of how you know that this worked for you is that from May till now of 2022, okay, you for the first time were truly comfortable being your super crazy self, which wasn't super crazy. You turned it into super genius. You broke through from May until now being this new aspect of yourself. Whereas from 2010 to, of course, May of 2022 was that process of evolving into it. And you were slowly but surely letting go of the doubts versus from May till now, like you rocked it. You were no longer, you didn't care. It's not that people thought you were any less crazy, but you were producing more receipts. It's not like 2012 when you started, when no one knew what the fuck you're doing. Now it's 2022 when you have other people, they're watching other people give you accolades for what you've done. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like you're pioneering this new self. If you're realizing there's a new level, new devil, but now as you come back into Jupiter and Pisces, it's gonna feel so good. It's gonna feel like you've completed it. It should literally feel like all the work you realistically did to break through out of this. Um, and it's gonna feel like you know you've been chasing that rabbit hole for that answer. You're gonna finally get that answer. Okay. Once again, the lesson here, this is how you know the lesson. 2012 and 2016, when you started, a lot of you wanted to prove it. You weren't crying wolf, but it's like you wanted the purpose, your purpose of going through the rabbit hole was to find the answer so you can prove yourself to other people. Now you're finally finishing the rabbit hole. You're going to find the answer, but you could care less if people care or not. In fact, you're going to do the opposite. That's how you're going to know you broke through. You're going to find the answer. And in fact, you're going to wish people think you're crazy. You're going to have the answer and you could prove it to people if you want, but you're only going to prove it to people who you care about. Now, because you're securing yourself, you prove that it's real. You are who you've known yourself to be. So now you realize you're a treasure and a prize. It's like, wait, I don't have to prove this to you. In fact, if you think I'm crazy, I'm going to actually help you think I'm crazy. Versus if it's time for you to know, like that's how you know you broke through. Now, for those of you who didn't go through the rabbit hole, this is objectively how you'll know. From May until now, when Jupiter went into Aries, that part of you that you were hiding broke through, and you've just been in crazy anxiety because it's been mulling over all your partnerships, and you can't hide this facet of yourself. And it's been driving you fucking crazy because you keep on having synchronicities with other people, and it's a part of you that's terrifying because you can't hold it back anymore. Okay. the anxiety that comes with this facet of yourself that you've been holding back, now just in Aries, okay? And now once it goes back into Pisces, the element and evidence of the evolution of your etheric body, your consciousness is catching up to, and it's going to drive you fucking crazy because you've been trying to hold it back. You're not going to be able to hold it back anymore, and you're going to real time just have these crazy psychic moments with people, and it's going to induce a lot of anxiety. You're going to have a lot more panic attacks than you're having, and it's going to be excruciatingly painful, but you will still come to the answer. Everyone's still going to come to the answer. It's just that rabbit hole is going to be like, oh, you try to run away from me? Come here. You're literally going to be waterboarded by this rabbit hole. Versus if you went through all 4 rabbit holes, the rabbit hole is going to be like, hey, you're back again. Hey, come through. You know, they're not going to try and chase you because you're walking straight into it. Like, this motherfucker is crazy. Did you see them just dive head first in this room? We like this motherfucker. We like this motherfucker. That's the attitude you need. That's the attitude you need. So here's the thing. Now, I want to kind of break this down. Let's say that Jupiter was evolving your etheric body with Neptune, right? So let's go back in time. The reason why I want to go back in time is it's very important to chronicle Jupiter's journey here. Okay. As we can see, this is 2013. So if we go back to 2010, we have Jupiter on Uranus. And Jupiter on Uranus is very important because in May of 2023, Jupiter is going to begin to meet Taurus. 2024 is very important because we go from 2010, Jupiter Uranus in Pisces, to 2024, Jupiter Uranus in Taurus. That marks an entire evolution of how we supernaturally harness our inner madness and turn it into genius. So that what was imaginary in 2010, you are realistically producing 2024. And 2022 and 2023 are the transition and breakthrough where we step into that. Because it's already starting to become real because Uranus is already in Taurus. Swear to God, there are things that you wished you can do and wished you can be in 2010 that you are right now. Period. I remember like the person who I am right now is who I wished I could be 2010 and still becoming into. But we have to make sure this is established here because you have already completed so much of this breakthrough and evolution. But what I want to keep in mind is Jupiter, Neptune, and Uranus have been evolving and ascending elements of your own psyche that you don't see physically. They exist outside of this time-space continuum or space-time continuum. So it's not like a personal planet that you are actually cognizantly aware of or cognizantly acknowledge, like your mind, you know what I'm saying? Or like your emotions. These are facets of you that incorporate and exist with you. But unless you're psychic, like a Pisces or Aquarius, you're not really going to be as aware of it. So imagine it's been evolving. Those of you who are super crazy, suspend your mind outside the box. So it's easy for you to incorporate these into your daily life through synchronicity, signs. And it takes a skill to spend most of your time in imagination. Some of you actually utilized internet addiction to some of you transmuted negative behavior into positive. You turned an internet addiction to stimulate your mind abnormally in ways it couldn't happen normally. And because you transmuted it by counterbalancing it with another behavior, something that on paper was negative actually evolved you rapidly. Okay. Kanye West really is. Kanye West, Trump, Elon Musk. It's not just Ye. It's a new wave. That's why I'm saying you're seeing this happen with Ye and Trump and Elon Musk because they're billionaires, but they represent individuals. Elon with Cancer, Trump and Ye with Gemini, DJ Academics with Taurus. Okay. And the Aries are out here too. They started it with Uranus. So for those of you who are in your imagination, you're overcoming the negative dynamics of that with techniques your spirit taught you so that you can transmute them. The evidence of that is breaking through. This is where you may not stay in those bad habits. It's time to let those habits go now that you've broken through this evolution, but you're starting to catch up to the evolution of unseen facets of your spirit body that have been vibrating. So when Jupiter goes back into Pisces, it's going to catch your consciousness up into speed with how your etheric body has been evolving. Your consciousness might be here. Your etheric body was probably like this 2010. Your consciousness might have been here. Your etheric body was probably like this 2010. Now it's like this 2010. And so when Jupiter comes back into Pisces, your consciousness is going to come in. And so you're already starting to feel this. So first of all, you're already starting to feel this because Jupiter is 0 degrees. Okay, that's 30 degrees Pisces. So it has already started. That's what the eclipse is going to cement. So for those of you who are not, appreciate you, Dexavelli. For those of you who aren't used to being crazy as fuck, like when someone, the average person who's crazy does not operate, and what makes someone crazy is subjective. It really just means that relative to the normal frame of operations within a given system, because what's normal isn't the same in every generation. So begin the given system that's occurring. If you operate outside of what's normal, you're crazy. So the average crazy person, because they're not grounded, a system will ground something because they're not slowed like that. The average crazy person is going to vibrate erratically like this. And so the super crazy people, as the awakening happened, they started to match. So if you were to look at it outside the system, these people are genius. If you were to look at it in the system, as they were starting to match their etheric to the people in the system who vibrate slower, they looked crazy as fuck. Like, what the fuck? This person's just like out there. And it was half true. Okay. So once this retrogrades back, you're going to literally start flying. It's going to be exquisite. It's going to be a breakthrough of everything that you've been dreaming. Your dreaming and imagination literally put you forward, but it's hard for your critical mind to see that because we're so used to 3D, this white height, width, length. So you have an unseen, unconscious facet that was pushing you forward just with your imagination. Your consciousness is about to catch up to all of that, like a tuning fork, because Neptune, we tune in with Neptune. Okay, and Neptune is literally like a tune. So with that being said, for those of you who hid from yourself, you were afraid to express this part, because that's the thing. Everyone had to go through it. The people who are super crazy, they were afraid to express this parts of themselves too. They just decided to go through the pain first and then the joy after. Versus some of you who, or some people who ran from it and got that temporary joy first, but now they have to face themselves. So once they catch up to it, they're not going to be used to this higher vibration. And because they suppressed it, it's going to be even higher. And then, so they're going to be talking to people and then voices are just going to flood their head. And you're going to see a lot of people go through just anxiety attacks and like just straight psychosis. And it's because the unseen facet of them does not flow linearly. So it's just going to come online like some of you are just going to hear that. And people will go crazy. This is going to happen to those of you who've accepted it too. But when it happens to you, you've been there, done that. So you're just going to be talking to someone, their face is just going to start morphing, but you're so secure in yourself, you'll start laughing like, oh my gosh, what is happening right now? Am I evolving right now? This is crazy. And you'll be able to have casual conversation and no one will even know you're going through that because you're so secure in yourself. You've already gone through those kinks. You're so used to being eccentric. You're not going to worry about how you look. And this is going to, with this trust in yourself. Okay. Boom. I'm so sorry for the headphone. See, I keep on being too loud. So I wanted to make sure I get that concept out. So if we look at the Jupiter cycle, from 2010, I want you to see how Jupiter has just been steadily pushing forward. Okay. All right. So this was the cycle of evolution relative to, didn't just start with this, right? But I want you to see how Neptune went into Pisces 2012. Pluto was already 7 degrees. We had the Jupiter in Cancer that opposed Pluto. And so now here's the first part. The first part of this is the Jupiter trine to Cancer. Okay. Because when Jupiter conjuncted Neptune, it was in Aquarius. All right. I'm not sure what graph is. That's a good. It sounds familiar. So, yo, straight up. So basically, the trine here with Cancer is in a way, really. Oh, I see. Okay. So yeah, I see. Okay. So I want you to notice that trine to Cancer. Then I want you to notice, of course, as Jupiter moves forward, the opposition in Virgo. That was coming into the 2016 rabbit hole. Then we had 2018 with Jupiter Scorpio. Okay. Then we had the 2019 rabbit hole. So Jupiter Scorpio was pivotal because that was when we had the Scorpio trine. So we had the Cancer trine that filled in the water, right? Then we had the Scorpio trine that purified the water. Okay. So basically, Neptune went into Pisces 2012. Then 2014, Jupiter went into Cancer. And if we had a magical glass, Jupiter in Cancer filled that water with glass. Then it went into Pisces and the water started to get purified. Now that the water's purified, we transcended the water and we went through the 2019 portal. We went through the reset of 2020. We went through 2021, the strengthening of the beta test. Then we went through 2022. So 2022 is important because 2022 brought the final water. Does that make sense? The final water representing, of course, Jupiter on Neptune. So we had Jupiter in Cancer, we had Jupiter in Scorpio, and we had Jupiter in Pisces. And for those of you who felt like you were super awkward, Uraeus, thank you for saying, many of you felt super awkward. And I think this is going to resonate with you a lot. Many of you felt super awkward because you're not awkward. You're too advanced. So as y'all were evolving the past 10, 12 years, and please comment an exclamation mark if this applies to you. The reason why some of you felt very awkward is because you were trying to express facets of yourself that didn't finish loading. You were trying to express an advanced part of yourself that you didn't have the words to say. You didn't know how to bring into 3D, and you didn't have the 3D environment that could fit it. So you were bringing in an advanced program that your environment didn't even know how to process. And so you were like a computer glitching, like, and that would create an awkward moment because psychically you would know exactly how to be in that moment, but you didn't know how to put it through. And so in 3D, you would just look awkward as fuck. I'm sorry. You would just look super awkward. And this is what kind of drove a lot of you to be introverted. For those of you who that went through, you're actually super social. You're actually super extroverted. You have just been downloading this super advanced part of yourself. And for some of you, that takes the whole 12 years because it's super advanced. So I wanted to really highlight that. This is why now that Jupiter went through Aries post 2022, you're realizing for the first time ever, you're a lot more comfortable expressing facets of yourself that were awkward before because there's no more lag time, right? Now you would know what to say after the fact. That was the lag time. Now there's no more lag time. Now it's not awkward because it was never awkward. You were never weird. You were a fucking genius. Now the loading screen has completed. Now you are getting ready to step into the full expression. And I love it. It's still going to be kind of awkward because we're still getting ready to retrograde back into Jupiter. Okay. Right now and it's not even that you're making friends. Now you're making friends with people who are on your level too. Okay. And this is where it's really important. My friend, you still haven't even come close to your true self. Like you have considerably evolved. I was like, this is crazy. You have considerably evolved so much, and this is still just the beginning. Like the Pluto Aqua chapter of this. So we just concluded the Pluto Capricorn chapter of 2008 to 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pluto Aqua chapter, should you even be alive for that, is going to be the stuff of legend. Okay, the stuff that you've seen in the movies. Everything we've gone through, Pluto Sag, Pluto Cap, was like peak sitcom energy. Like the 24s, like the scandals, like the riveting. Like it was good. It was good stuff. It was good content. It was the breakthrough into a new world. This Pluto Aqua transit, Pluto Aqua is going to feature 2 more Jupiter cycles. That's not true. That's not true. Pluto Aqua is going to feature 1 Jupiter cycle. The next 2 Jupiter cycles are going to bring us Pluto Aqua and Pluto Pisces. Those next 2 Jupiter cycles is going to be a movie. From beginning to end, a movie. Everything that you read in the history books about the foundation of this country, you're about to be a part of that movie of the new revolution. Like the graphics are going to be next level. You're going to be using your superpowers during this chapter. And so this is going to bring you to a whole new level. Think that at a 3D level, you have now just started to incorporate the awareness of 5D into your reality. You're crossing the border of time in 4D to step into this imagination 5D paradise. Well, the next 2 Jupiter cycles is going to take you from 5D to 7D. The next Jupiter cycle is like, now that you have learned how to tap in to your own inner self and higher self, right? Now that you've learned how to do that, process dreams, intuitions, and synchronicities while simultaneously stepping out of one world into the next world, the next Jupiter cycle is you're going to use that ability to communicate with past versions of yourself, future versions of yourself, extra dimensional entities outside of yourself. You need to use your superpowers to discern what these messages are. You're going to learn how to time travel. You're going to learn how to fly to other star systems. So Pluto Aqua and Pluto Pisces is literally, Pluto Aqua is literally you using technology and superpowers to light beam yourself to a supercluster across the universe. Pluto Pisces is now using somewhat of similar technology or superpowers to teleport yourself to another dimension outside of time. Like a lot of this is going to exponentially grow crazier. That's why from Pluto and Aries to Capricorn, it was gradual. Model T car, okay, Industrial Revolution, okay, Information Age, okay, technology, Pluto Capricorn, and boom! Like this is the exponential curve where so we are finally from Pluto Aries to Capricorn is that parabolic, the curve, and then from Pluto Aqua Pisces, this is where everything. So like we're literally at the precipice. The fact that you are alive is wild right now, and that's why I want to kind of give it that flavor. Steve Yantis, thank you very much. I got you on the live reading. Naquan, I got your Cash App. Eden, I got your Cash App. Much appreciated. Okay, Rosa, I got your Cash App. Nari, thank you for your chart. All right. Okay, cool. So awesome. What a time to be alive, especially if you are new gen. If you're Pluto Sag and Pluto Capricorn, you are the goats. Like you are the gods of the new generation. There's a whole new pantheon of gods. So basically, anyone born, especially Pluto Scorpio, Pluto Scorpio is most importantly like the end of the old world. Okay, so anyone born before Pluto Libra and Pluto Scorpio really brought in the essence of the old gods. You brought in the old mythology, the Cronoses, the Aphrodites, some of Lovecraftian myths. These myths are just evidence of the real essence of these gods. The myths are the symptoms, they're the stories, but the reality of it is totally different. And that's what a lot of you have been mediating it. Some of you are representatives, some of you are demigod representatives, some of you are full-on incarnations, others of you carry, different salad bar mixes of different gods or deities or celestials, but there is a more old element of this that you've brought through. Then you have some indigos and starseeds that brought in some new gods and mixed with the old gods. If you're born after 95, you're bringing in the new gods. You represent a new pantheon, new ideas, new concepts, new facets of existence that we haven't seen. It might have existed before, but we haven't seen, so it's new to us. Okay, so it's very key. Hyperdimensional languages, and this is where, if you're Pluto Scorpio, Pluto Libra and Pluto Scorpio are the bridge generations that bring us out the old and into the new. Okay, so that's 76 to 95, 76 to 83 Pluto Libra, or 72 to 83 Pluto Libra, 83 to 95 Pluto Scorpio. So those two generations, you're representing the bridge between both pantheons. And the reason why this is very important is, in bridge generations like this, bridge generations have to account for the exponential shift between mundane 3D 5D miracle every now and then to 5D, 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 5D. That's the 3D time space. 5D aliens, unicorns, 70, 5D, 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 3D. Do you hear her? What are you talking about? What are you even talking about? So, like, that's why it's very difficult for people to accept the shift, because throughout history there's always a gradual shift. Bridge generations, you go from to like that overnight, and there's no explanation for that except the soup. Like so that's why it's just gonna switch on. Like, you're just gonna be chilling and then you're levitating tomorrow. Like, you're just chilling, and now your 5-year-old is telling you about the next 3 months for you in vivid clarity and detail while they're asleep. They're not even awake. Like, a spirit possessed them and is now divining for you. Like, crazy shit. It's just, some of you live this already. Some of you have already been processing crazy shit for the collective. So now let's go backtrack. For those of you who've been crazy as fuck, you really weren't crazy as fuck. You probably had moon, sun, or rising in the God signs. And that means the reason why you were crazy as fuck is because you were processing an entire collective's worth of psychic energy in the excess of what other people couldn't do. You were one of the few people who signed up to do this. And so it's like bringing an entire ocean's worth of energy through one faucet. It drove you fucking insane. And the first 10 years of this was you clearing that. And so it's not necessarily that you were super crazy. It's that you were taking in everyone's crazy energy and you were filtering it for the collective. You weren't the only one doing this. If you have other faucets doing this, it did its part. And so because you did this, now you're used to incorporating this. The consequence of that is that it leveled you the fuck up. Sag is a God sign. Cap is a God sign. Aqua is a God sign. Pisces is a God sign. What makes you the God sign is that you're collective pertaining to everyone. Unlike the 4 individuals, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Taurus says it's mine, right? Because it's individual, it's singularly focused. And then when singularly focused energies connect together through bridges like Libra, Leo on stage, Virgo of analysis, and Scorpio of sex, this is social. This is where we now create social environments, social groups. But then you have every single social group. You have every single individual. That's the collective. That's the gods. Okay. Gods now have responsibility in order to take care of what they rule. So there's a God of love. There's a God of death. Welcome to Desiree, who just joined God Squad. Okay. And this is what, of course, brings the responsibility with the title. And this is where, relatively now, because you're breaking through this, I want to once again now come into the true nature of this. I had to preface everything that I just spoke on so that I can really start to talk about this trend. We didn't even start the transit, guys. It's been an hour and we're now finally ready to start. So if you just entered, then your timing is on fleek because we're literally just about to start. So basically, everything that I had to kind of break through, many of you had extensive Jedi training for the past 12 years. It's going to kind of be like Spy Kids. The movie that some of you are in is going to be different relative to if you are a main character, a side character, an extra, or backstage personnel. Some of you are advanced practitioners who are helping the main character. So you're the main character's guide or mentor. And so the past 12 years, like a TA or teacher's assistant, you came into all the knowledge so that you can prepare to assist the new generation. Versus some of you that are a part of the new generation, or you are a main character, you didn't come into all of the information because the camera follows you. So you couldn't inadvertently bring spoilers to the people who are watching. A lot of you are tapped into the Spy Kids because you're either going to be parents of Spy Kids or you are the Spy Kids and your parents hid a secret from you. Okay. So this is very important. For those of you who are more the guides, you're who I'm talking about. For those of you who are the main character, Love Goddess, I got you. What you're going to realize is the past 12 years, you went through extensive Jedi training and you only realized the past 2 years. So this Jupiter retrograde is going to be the divine unveiling where all the major characters in your life who were meant to guide you will reveal themselves. You'll be like, hey, I know I called you Jalen and I met you for 6 years, but I'm actually the Archangel Ariel, and I was just using this human vessel to guide you along. Everything that you were intuiting about being a part of this group is true. Here are the receipts, and let's go on this adventure. It's going to literally be like Jupiter ascending, where you were scrubbing toilets, and then like some magical dog shooting motherfuckers comes through and says, hey, you're the queen of a whole world. Let's go. We need to get the fuck out of here. Like, it's just going to rapidly, and that's why the Pisces fog is going to help your mind transition, similar to the universe giving you laughing gas, because when you're given laughing gas, you're about to go through a procedure that will induce pain physically. And so you have to disassociate your consciousness so that the physical can be worked on. That's this retrograde. We are disassociating from the 3D so that as we go through the death transformation of Scorpio, the shock of pain doesn't kill you. You're disassociated with the Piscean energy. Okay. And the reason why this is very important is you're going to come into starting now clear insight that you've been trained for war the past 12 years. You're going to know this because you're going to just sprout abilities that now answer the question at every challenge that you're in. The challenges that you're in aren't even challenges. They were just plot. And so you're going to use a new ability to overcome all those challenges in the sequence with which they are meant to. So basically, certain people are about to reveal who they really were. Yes, you can cash app 20 for a reading and I'll pull a card for you. Okay. So they're gonna not only let you know this is already starting to happen, certain people are awakening out of their sleeper cell agent nature and mode where they put a spell on themselves to be asleep until you awaken to a certain level. And what awakened them was once you awaken to a certain level, you unlocked a frequency. The frequency of your vibration awakened them, evolved them, shifted them. Oh, he's ready or she's ready. Okay. So this is really cool. Even some bad guys that help you with the development in their own way. So the reason why it's very important is this is all happening very fast. This is during the breakthrough arc, and the high degree level of Pisces here in its proximity to Neptune, as we will now see moving forward, is coming into that 29 degree, okay, aspect, preparing the way for this total transcendence. If you're getting chills, it's because you're super advanced. And this is going to blow off everything you were ever told you were delusional about. And you're going to realize you were never delusional. In fact, not only were you never delusional, you were only at the tip of the iceberg. This is what I'm trying to say. Like everything that you've evolved, like you have reached such a pivotal, mind-blowing, breakthrough level of understanding of yourself that is still just the beginning. You're going to start to understand so much more about yourself every day. Thank you. Some of you are summoning people with your thoughts. Some of you are thinking of someone, they call you. Some of you are thinking of numbers, it shows up. And now it's feeling like, wow, like I'm on the precipice of moving forward with these abilities. And it should feel like a divine adventure because this is nothing. This is nothing. Like everything you thought you've awakened is nothing. Like you still have levels of mastery that you haven't even begun to step into that will just take everything you're starting to learn and master it. All the new concepts you're starting to step into by the end of the next Jupiter cycle and the end of Pluto Aqua, you've mastered. It's not even a thing. And now you're starting to teach the next children. So really embrace this like a child because you're getting ready to step into so much more greatness that you really just want to pat yourself on the back. Okay, so the thing I want to really illustrate here, and the eclipse is going to be the beginning of this procedure. So from North Node in Taurus season to Scorpio season was preparing for the procedure. This was where we had Jupiter come out of Aries and then retrograde back into Pisces from Taurus to Scorpio. Then it's in Scorpio, it goes back into Pisces, Sagittarius, it gets ready to go back into Aries. Then it goes into Aries, it conjuncts the sun in Aries, and then they both go into Taurus for the eclipse. This is a procedure preparing you to innovate how you can ground supernatural energy and phenomena through your physical 3D. This is pipelining the fullness of 5D into your 3D. Now, the reason why you need the surgery is because this is going to transform from Uranus and Taurus all the supernatural energy that has pipelined, especially if you're born in the early 70s with Uranus and Scorpio. Anyone born after Uranus and Scorpio is going through this pipeline procedure. Anyone born before Uranus and Scorpio has completed this procedure, you've already had the opposition. This is just going to evolve you to the next level. For those of you going through this metaphysical surgery, when you find like if you're feeling chills, you're about to have this moment. Every single one of you is about to have this moment, or you're going to be the one who facilitates. So if you're like a TA, if you're advanced and you're not a main character, some of you are like extras, like you're like super cosmic beings, and you could be gods and goddesses, but you're not a main character. As a god or a goddess, you're a guide in a main character's life. Right? You're gonna be the wild card at chapter 7 in their journey who picks them out of the tower moment and inspires them forward. So in the main scheme of things, you were just a side character, but you're still a cosmic god or goddess. Like you might be like, I'm not a main character, I'm a side character. I'm one such side character. Then you have main characters who are going through pacing. So if you're a TA, you're going to be the person who activates someone's anime awakening moment, whether you know it or not. Or it could be like both, right? Or if you're a main character or a chosen one, you may not be a main character, but you have the North Node on your moon, sun, horizon, and you're a chosen one, then you're going to have an awakening moment. You can have facets of yourself. One's a main character, the other is a teacher. So for some of this, both can happen. But this anime moment is going to be a moment in every movie or television show where, okay, you realize that certain things you thought were conspiracy or certain things you thought were just in your head are real. You realize that, yeah, the ghost you were thinking about doesn't exist, but there's a real 3D explanation of it that's different from what you thought, but still real. When most people go through this, okay, when most people go through this, they get into a state of shock and into a state of psychosis because their critical mind is having to process that everything they've been processing is a lie, and that can make people go crazy. This is where if you're already crazy, you're used to jumping through rabbit holes and having to adapt to a whole new different like frame of reference, and so it'll actually be fun. This is where side characters are super important, okay? And you're almost at your full potential. So once again, what's very important here is for those of you having this moment, you're going to realize that every single synchronicity that you've had that's been like a held breath from the first rabbit hole in 2012 that you walked through or didn't walk through, and you've been guided along these synchronicities, this is going to be your, oh, wow, the culmination, the end. After we walk through the eclipse, right? That kicks this in, main character energy based on, I'm going to break that down. Okay. Boom. Moon in Sag. Once we have the moon in Sag, that's going to square the perceptual. This moon in Sag post eclipse is going to manifest the energy of the eclipse. And that's going to be where you see you were never crazy. And that's going to make some of you hyperventilate, like, oh my gosh, it's real. It's real. Or some of you will be like, it's real. It's real. It's real. Ah! Some of you, if you're a side character, the main character will activate the energy. And you'll notice it because you may have directly or indirectly awakened someone and you're a part of the plot. So main character energy is based on Leo. And this is where you're either a producer, Taurus, you're the writer and narrator, Aquarius, you're the main character, Leo, or you are the mysterious Scorpio. Scorpio, I'm still coming up with an archetype for. The villain is Aries, but Scorpio could be like the ticket master who you have to pay money so that the producer can get the money. So we'll see. But basically, Leo or Aquarius, what side do you fall in? Libra is the side character. Gemini is a side character. Libra is the supporting role character. So the two main characters are Libra and Leo. And Aries is the villain, so their main character energy. Sagittarius is the side character of the wild card. Gemini is the side character of comic relief. And then you have Aquarius, which is the narrator. They're outside of the play. They know everything. The main character was walking through and was about to get fucked up. It's so fun to be the narrator. Oh, the narrator, in my opinion, I look up to. Everyone has different roles that they love, right? But you're either, if you're more Leo-centric, you're a main character. I don't know what to say. If you have a lot of fifth house, or you're more Leo rising, if your Cancer progressed into Leo, if you're Leo, if you're Aries, you're either a designated villain or an evil villain. All right. Aries are going through weird character arcs with Uranus through it. I'm going to do a whole Age of Aquarius series. Aries with Uranus going through it are a different type of villain. So the traditional Aries villain is out the door. Now Aries are the villain who you realize is the hero, or they're the villain who works for the real villain, right? And was either used, or they're like the super villain. Okay. So it's not really the traditional villain. But regardless, if you have Leo centric energy, if you're progressed Leo, if you're your sun in Leo specifically, or if you're like a fifth house Aries sun or a Sag sun, chances are you're a main character because of the light. You are carrying and going through the hero's journey and adventure. If you're Aquarian, you're a narrator. So chances are you're a guide. If you're Pisces, you're the audience. So you're watching people's narratives and plays. Pisces is ascended master. Aquarius is ascended master. Capricorn is the director. So if you have more of these ascended energies, and if you're a Sag, you're a wild card. But if you have the rest of the God level energies, you're probably a side character, or you're not even in the play, like you're a director. So you have a lot more work to do because you're carrying the production. So you don't need the limelight because you're driving the play, or you're in the play. Can you be a main character and a narrator? Let me give you an example of my chart. And this is where I'm going to do a whole series on this. If you're a day one, you saw I started to talk about this, then I backed away. I'm a Taurus rising, I'm a Capricorn moon, and I'm a Gemini sun. Okay. The moon is going to let you know who you really are on the inside. And the rising is your title. This is your cap. The sun is who you are in or out in the play. Okay. So I imagine Taika Waititi. I'm kind of like Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi directed Thor, right? Just like me, Moon and Capricorn, I'm the director. And then Taurus rising, I'm the producer, right? I produce my own sets. Think about it. I'm the piece dealer. I'm producing this. I'm directing it. Who am I producing? A character, the piece dealer. Honk, honk, comic relief. I'm giving you truth through jokes, right? Versus the Leo King, who is the main character, right? But he's the Taurus moon. He's the producer of his own show. right? So whereas Leo King is more producer, I'm more director, Capricorn moon. Taika Waititi was in Thor. He was the director, but he cast himself as a side character. He was the rock guy, all right? He was doing exposition. So this is how he was really a director, but in the play, he was comic relief, right? In the grand scheme of things, I'm a director. I'm outside. I don't need the limelight. I'm not a Leo. You know what I'm saying? I'm more helping produce the set, but I put myself in this play as a side character, as comic relief. And so that means I'm probably going to connect with main characters in this lifetime and be a part of their plot. Now, eventually, I'm in Cancer right now. I'm a makeup artist. Cancer is the makeup artist. They make up the people behind set. Eventually, in 10 years, I'm going to progress into Leo. And then I'm going to become a main character. And I'm becoming more social. So this is how I'll do special readings on this. If you're a Leo sun, you're a main character. If you're a Leo rising, you could be a Capricorn sun, so you're a director, but you have the personality of a main character. You're a Leo rising. You could be a wild card, Sag sun, but you have a main character personality. So the Leo sun is the main character, but a Leo rising, the Leo sun is the lead role of the movie, but a Leo rising is a main character energy. So Leo risings are main characters, even if you're not the lead role. Leo suns are the lead role. Leo moons understand the lead role. So they're like the understudy. You know, the people who like, if the main character doesn't have the lines, you memorize the lines. So you're the understudy. That's the moon. You understand it. You could be a director, Cancer sun, who understands the main character. So you know how to direct the main character so much better. Cancer risings are makeup artist personalities. And I love Callie, by the way. Callie is a Cancer sun, moon, and rising. And when I met her, she was the makeup artist who, if you looked at the music video Weirdo, she's the one who did my makeup. She's on our team and she's an actual makeup artist, one of the dopest. Okay. So like, I channeled all this information. It's dope. Scorpio is the only one that I don't necessarily know. So you guys can help me with this. I'm going to talk about it because it's relevant. So in the new age of Aquarius, life is a set, right? And this is a set that was written by Aquarius and produced by Taurus. So Taurus is the producer, right? Yeah, you see the play, but the stage that Leo performs on, 10th house Taurus, Leo is 4th house of Taurus. Taurus is 10th house of Leo. The stage that Leo performs on was produced by Taurus, bankrolled by Taurus. Taurus bankrolled and hired everyone on set. All right. Aquarius wrote the play. Aquarius had to find someone to bring their play to life. They found the right producer. Taurus had to find a main character to act and bring the play to life. So then you have Aries, who's the villain. Then you have Taurus, who's the producer. Gemini is comic relief, or Gemini could be the exposition if it's a drama. The character who's a side character, but always says what the truth is to advance the plot forward. Then you have Cancer, who's the makeup artist, because without the makeup artist, your actors are going to look dusty. They're not going to look good. Don't sleep on the makeup artist. Okay. Makeup artist might be partnered with the director behind the scenes. Then you have the main character, the lead role, Leo, the sun. That's who we came to see. That's who stars in the play. Then you have Virgo, the critic. And this is where I'm open to different interpretations. I'm going to do 3 different interpretations. One of the interpretations I'm going to do where all of the characters are in the play. This one I'm doing is where the earth and water signs are not in the play, but the fire and air signs are in the play. Okay. And so Virgo is the critic that has to watch the movie and be like, this movie is fucking trash. These scenes suck, or this movie was not bad. Virgo and Pisces are the only 2 in the audience, where Virgo is the critic and Pisces is the audience. Pisces is who we did this for, right? Pisces is why the production is happening, because the producer needs to sell this to the audience, right? And then Libra is the side character. Libra is not the side character. It's the supporting role character. So you had Mean Girls, right? Or you had Clueless, the main character, and you had the supporting character who had to connect with the main character. The main character is Leo Love. The supporting role is relationships, Libra. Love and relationships. This whole play is about Leo and Libra. If it wasn't for Libra, the play would be mid, because Leo would have to carry everything. And so Libra balances the main role. by being the supporting role. A movie is only as good as its supporting role character is. If the main character tries to carry it, it's not going to work. So far, I hope I got this. This is Aquarius channeled this for me. Like, this information just came through like 2012 or 2011. So then you have Scorpio. I don't know what Scorpio is. That's the only one sign that I said it was the ticket master. So if Taurus is the producer, Scorpio is the one where they decide if you come see the movie or not. If you don't pay Scorpio, you can't come into the movie. But that one is the only one that I want to change and see what we could do. Sagittarius is the wild card. That's the motherfucker in the movie. That's the twist in the movie. And that's the motherfucker where they can either come in and help the main character, they can help the villain, they can screw both people over. You never know with Sagittarius. They could be a dud, they could be the best part. That's Sagittarius, the wild card. Okay. Then you have Capricorn, the director. Cut. Capricorn is the one who tells everyone what to do on set. I said, get the fuck on my set. Why are you texting on my set? Cut. Get the fuck out of here. Do you think we have time? Sorry if I'm too loud. Capricorn takes their job very seriously. Okay. Then you have Aquarius, who's the narrator, the writer of the play. Aquarius knows everything because they wrote the play. We're living the play right now. So you have Aquarians who are narrators. If you've seen Stranger Than Fiction, that's a movie about Aquarius and Gemini. Will Ferrell was comic relief as a main character, which was Leo, and he's a Cancer progressed Leo. And then the relationship between Leo and the narrators, just he played more Gemini comic reliefy. Now, you can combine them too. Libra and Gemini are composite what? Leo. So Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle was a comic, right? A comedy. You have comic relief in a supporting role, and both of those could be the main role, lead role character. So this is how Libra and Gemini can be a main character of a movie and be Leo. Or you can have Leo be standalone, right? Aquarius is the writer of the play. So Scorpio could be the sponsor because Taurus is the executive producer. But I like that. Scorpio could be the sponsor because it's investments and it's opposite Taurus. I like that. I really do like that. And then Aquarius wrote the play. So they're the ones that know everyone. They're narrating it. And then Pisces is the audience. I like that. So I had Scorpio as a ticket master, but we're gonna have Scorpio as a sponsor because this movie is sponsored by Investments, 8th House. Woo! I love it. So Scorpio is the sponsor. We like that. And then Pisces is the audience. Pisces is the one watching the play. Pisces kind of breaks that fourth wall by actually being able to watch it. And that's where Pisces is opposite Virgo. Pisces is watching the play to consume it. Virgo is watching it to critique it. So this is why Capricorn and Taurus is always trying to pussyfoot Virgo, because the director wants to make sure they directed it right, and the producer wants to make sure the critic's right. Virgo's the critic. So this is where if they were in the play, Aquarius could be the real villain, Scorpio or Pisces could be the villain. So I'm gonna do a whole different one for that. But yeah, I like that. Taurus is the one who produced it, and Scorpio is the sponsor. We could definitely do that. Pisces is the patron. And yeah, I think by your reactions, you guys really like this analogy. I'm definitely going to build on this concept. But this is where, for those of you who, Scorpio could be the bouncer too, though. Like, if you didn't pay the money, you got to get the fuck out of there. But basically, you know, this is where Aries being the villain is a bit controversial. So I want to work on Aries definition too. So if you do it on certain, there's another rendition of this where Aries is the original hero and then Leo is the next hero, where like Aries is the Anakin Skywalker and then Leo is the Luke Skywalker, where one loses their way and the other does it the right way. So we need this animated. That's actually one of my visions. Like, I want to actually animate this concept. I just don't have the money to do it. Aries is the Aries is actually the original anti-hero too, because Libra is the hero. So when Aries isn't the villain, they're either the villain or the anti-hero. So thank you. You just basically answered my question. Libra is the hero because they're social. Leo is social. Libra is social. And so Leo and Libra represent the heroes of the Zodiac who think of others more than themselves. Then you have the anti-socials. Aries is anti-social. Aquarius is anti-social. in that Libra is social. So Aries is opposite the social of Libra, which makes it anti-social, which is what can make Aries the anti-hero if they're not the villain. So thank you so much. You literally just answered my question, because Libra is going to do things right by justice. Aries is not going to be afraid to kill. And that's the dilemma. This is why where Aries can be the villain if in being the anti-hero, they lose their way. Or they can be the anti-hero where Libra could be the fake hero that cares more about their image. And this is where you can see all sorts of dynamics. All right. And this stuff really just kind of channels through. Libra is social, not antisocial. So this is where I had to use this dynamic because, okay, now that we're breaking through, for those of you who know if you're more the main character or supporting, or like you may not be, you don't have to be a Leo to be the main character. Aries is a main character. The famous five is Aries, Gemini, Leo, Libra, and Sag. Aquarius form the secret seven. So Aquarius is fame energy, but I channeled that Aquarius created the secret seven to connect with the earth and water signs. And then the famous five are the other fire and water signs. Think about it. J-Lo is a part of the famous five. George Floyd is a part of the famous five, and he's literally famous. All he did was like be a victim of police brutality or die. We still don't know, but he's famous. Like, this is how this energy works. He has Uranus on his sun. Trey Songz is a part of the famous five. You know what I'm saying? So relative to that, if you are a part of the famous five, you're a main character. It's just not every main character. Some main characters are side characters. Not every main character is the lead role. Okay. And so if you are earth or water sign, you're backstage personnel. So you're real. You're earth. You're real. You're not acting a part. You're real as fuck. Like, does that make sense? Like, this is how to make sense of it. Versus water, that kind of like facilitates. Water is very interesting. You have the sponsor, the audience, and the makeup artist. So water is just kind of integral. Okay. So with that being said, famous five is a club, secret seven is a cult. If it wasn't for Aquarius, water and earth signs wouldn't come together. So Aquarius kind of genius masterminded that. So the reason why this is very important is if you're more of a lead role character, you're going to be integrating with the collective and being revealed this. If you're more of a narrator or a director, you've already come into all this knowledge and information, and you're going to be setting people off on their awakening moments. Okay. So with that being said, Scorpio is the psychological plot that is unseen but felt as the spirit behind the tangible. Maria, thank you so much. That was very beautifully said. I really love that. That was very beautifully said. So what really kind of kicks in is, and remember, there's progression. So eventually I'm going to become a main character. Like, once I finish this makeup artistry and now my rising is Cancer, I have main character energy now. Even though I'm a makeup artist or a priest, I have main character energy. I have Leo in the second house. All Cancer risings are born with main character energy. Leo in the second is main character energy. Okay, so with that being said, yeah, we breaking it down. So the reason why I want to, and I got the Cash App. The reason why I want to really break this down is this moment is very crucial, ladies and gentlemen. The moon square Jupiter opposite Mars is a fundamental with Mercury, your brain processing at the very end of Libra, square Pluto, is the square of Pluto in your brain is literally like the surgery during the eclipse that's transforming your brain. And now you're disassociating with the Jupiter and Pisces, changing the way you come into realization that a lot of concepts you thought were fantasy are not fantasy. There is a 3D explanation. This is going to be something collective that's revealed. Like, alien disclosure could happen here. And this is where, if you're about that life, you're not going to go crazy. You're going to go supernatural. The people who are going to go crazy are people who have spent their whole life in denial of the divine aspects of their own self projected towards others. That's why they're projecting towards other people. For those of you who have done everything that you can to accept this, this is going to very powerfully break you through into the sense of divine evolution in ways that you have been preparing to do so your entire life. So, the reason why I want you to get excited is from now until the end of October, you are facilitating this intense breakthrough moment. Okay. And not only are you facilitating this intense breakthrough moment, but what this is doing is it's putting you in a position to, yep, I got your Cash App. It's putting you in a position, shout out to Chad, all right, to very, very, very powerfully. They try, yo. Scorpios who are witty have air or fire in their chart, I noticed, or their humor just goes over people's heads or under people's nose. But once again, like it it's very key because personally, this is everything you've been waiting for. When I say divine evolution breakthrough, now that you've cleared the evolution of your 3D as a basis, this is where you look at your 12D self. Many of you are going to glimpse your 12D self. I want you to comment a fire sign emoji if up until this point you've harnessed split seconds of your brilliance. But because you're harnessing an energy of everything at once, past, present, and future at once, it's like your mind goes blank because it can only process up to a certain part. And so you feel it, but like I said before, you can't put it into words. These are elements of your ultimate infinity D self or your 12D self that you've been expanding your 3D self to come into this form 2017, and then you came into this 2020, and then you developed this back in 2012. Now it's all coming together, and all of this coming together is giving you the glimpse of your 12D self in a word that you can finally make sense of. That's what this period is. You're finally getting ready to take 12 years worth of evolution, and you're getting ready to speak one word or one understanding. This word is a magic word that when you speak, magic abilities come forth from it. And you're going to get ready to learn how to use this one word in every single context in your life. When we finish the next 12-year cycle from 2022 to 2034, that one word you're getting ready to break through will turn into a whole sentence. And then 12 years from that, that sentence will turn into a paragraph and essay. So this is where I'm saying we're just getting started. But many of you are going to finally bring in a word into existence. This is a word that encapsulates your entire essence. And now with that energy is your magic word. This is the word revealed to you by your spirit. And this is what is going to induce this change. For some of you, this word could be a behavior. For some of you, it's a song. Whatever it is, I'm using a word as an analogy, but this is going to be the sum total of your essence in one conceptual form that has come together. And you will now build on that word moving forward. And Act Right, thank you for being you, because that's why you're here right now. And that's why you're a part of this cycle. Jupiter is a 12-year cycle because it takes Jupiter about a year to move through each sign. We've reached the series where it'll go into a sign, retrograde out of it, and then move through the next sign. And so it'll kind of even out over the next 12 years. But a word could be a vibration. It's ultimately going to be a vibration or a frequency. So thank you, Poet Lounge. It's going to be a frequency that you can say through a word, through a body language, through a dance. Okay. Saturn, great question, is a 30-year cycle, a 29 to 30-year cycle. So we're getting ready to kick off this Jupiter cycle. And in 2 years, we'll kick off a 30-year cycle with Saturn, 165 years with Neptune, 65 years with Uranus, 65 years with Pluto. Okay. So I'm so glad this pieced everything together. This is going to lead into more piecing together. And I want to put this into words so bad. It's hard for me to say, but basically, if you've never levitated before, you're levitating. If you've never had a full-on telepathic conversation, you're having a telepathic conversation. You're in the culmination of experiencing. So some of you have levitated. So if you've levitated, you're flying outside of this atmosphere. but now there's a cognizance and mastery to doing this. I love, some of you are going to discover by creating it, some of you are going to create it, some of you are just going to discover. It's such a good question, King Sigma. Yes, this is going to make everyone crunk. And the coolest thing about this is it's happening right now. Every single second, now that Jupiter is 0 degrees, is fast tracking you into this divine realization. So this moon here, now that we see the conjunction finally, is something that we want to highlight. Was it the lunar cycle? Oh, no, 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 no. It was that. So we had the sun conjunction to, what we want to highlight real quick is we had the sun conjunction to Pisces. Right? We had the sun conjunction to Pisces. Then we had the sun trine to Pisces in Cancer season. Right? Then we're finally having the sun trine to Neptune in Scorpio. And this final trine is going to break you through. And then we have the square in Sagittarius that's going to also do its job of adjusting the perception. So I just want to be very careful about how personally I kind of explain this. December 22nd is going to rocket propel you through into a new level of freedom that will very, 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 very powerfully, completely push you and break you forward into this new cycle of healing. So you had the 12 years from 2010 to May of 2022, which was the 12-year evolution period, right? Then we had the 2022 transit from August to October. So after 2010, once we reached May of 2022, Jupiter went 12 years through the cycle, boom, May of 2022 during the eclipse in Taurus, and went into Aries. Then from May till now of October, we went from 0 degrees of Aries to 8 degrees of Aries and back to 0 degrees of Aries. From 0 degrees to Aries to 8 degrees of Aries, we went from Taurus season to Leo season. From 8 degrees of Aries back to 0 degrees of Aries, we've gone from Leo season to Scorpio season. We've set up the eclipse. The setup for the eclipse was the sneak peek of evolution. And now that it's going back into Pisces, the going back into Pisces is the culmination. It's you skimming over the top, the fluff that's come through. And this is you finalizing this evolution. Then from December 26th, so from October to December 22nd, is this crucial evolution breakthrough period where you're breaking through into your consciousness, catching up to your imagination so that you can facilitate this next level of divine 7D, 12D bliss. Then we have October 19th, like I just said, to December 22nd. Now, from December 22nd to April of 2022 is the definitive push forward. So this is where we start the cycle. And if the 12-year cycle is a race, from December to April is you taking your new evolved vehicle and you're driving it to the new race. You're getting ready to prepare for the new race. So that's going to be, of course, Capricorn season, Aquarius season, and the new moons are going to happen at the beginning of the sign, which is pretty badass. Then we have Pisces season. And then, of course, we're going to have Aries season. And the thing with Aries season is that during Aries season, we're going to have the conjunction next to Jupiter. So from December 22nd to April 13th is the 22 conjunction that will kick off the official 12-year cycle starting from Aries. And that's where we kick off the brand new cycle. So basically, after you have this supernatural breakthrough moment, you're now revisiting everything in your life from December to April, where now you're addressing this with this evolved self. And then you step into the new 12-year cycle that will bring in these evil genius alien babies with Pluto Aqua. It's going to return of age the Pluto Sagittarian gods who are going to create the whole new world post this apocalypse. And it's actually going to bring in the post-apocalypse tribulation period that will kick off, that will start with the end of this current tribulation period, which will lead to the post-apocalypse and then the post-apocalyptic tribulation period, which is really going to be fucking awesome. Like, I don't know what else to say. It's going to sound really crazy, but it's actually super awesome. So, yeah, I just wanted to share that message. But the real important part of this message that I want to share is everything leading into this eclipse. So as you can see, Jupiter is not going to be 29 degrees Pisces until the moon is in Sagittarius. Okay. And the moon coming into Sagittarius is going to prepare you for the eclipse, where this experience is already starting to happen now, because Pisces is 30 degrees, 0 degrees Aries is 30 degrees Pisces. And if I can share with you an inside degree of what that looks like. The Earth, a large halo and ring formation around the moon. The Earth is pregnant with alternate futures, each of her progeny. Each possible future could become the one chosen. The criteria around whichever future stream is most genuinely surrendered to the highest will. If you type in inside degrees in Google, you'll find this. It is the same microcosmically as macrocosmically. Many souls are pregnant with alternate futures. The one that prevails will likely be the one most surrendered to the absolute, the most rightful. You feel burstingly full of visions, possibilities, worlds, and streams. And you know that so very much shall pass away, but what is essential will keep on coming. It is very hard to tell who is who and what is what, which way to lean or how to conceive the way it shall go. But if you stay rooted in your inward awareness and enduring core sensibility, you'll be tapped in. You'll be tapped as a vessel for what is to be, and that is all you need to know. Oh. Whew. So as we examine this Scorpio chapter here, this is going to bring in the intensification of this. The Cancer season trying to Neptune and Jupiter while it was squaring Jupiter. And this is the inside degree. So if you type in inside degrees in Google, you'll see this book by Elias Lonsdale. Okay. But personally, that Cancer trine was post activation. The conjunction that we had with Sun, Jupiter, and Neptune in March was activation. The trine that we had from, of course, Sun in Cancer to Neptune in Pisces was integration, square Jupiter. And now, of course, the trine in Scorpio is going to be breakthrough. So the grand water trine that we have with Sun in Scorpio and Jupiter in Pisces is going to be the breakthrough of this advanced element of how you imagine. A lot of what Neptune and Pisces is doing, by the way, is innovating the way you imagine things and literally changing and evolving how you imagine. It's kind of abstract to think, but like you can imagine better. You can incorporate this to the next level. And you are talking to everyone telepathically. It's just nothing about this is a 3D process. So your critical brain is having trouble processing the input output faculty of I'm talking to this person. Now I'm talking to this person. But the telepathy you're engaged in is connecting with every single oversoul and essence and having conversations in different time periods. Some of you are having a conversation right now with someone in 1684 while you're also having a conversation with somebody else entirely in 2036. And your brain can't process that, but your soul feels it. This disconnect and cognitive dissonance is what is causing in some of you auditory hallucinations and legit psychosis. So if you've surrendered, if you're already used to this crazy train, this isn't going to induce psychosis. It's going to induce awakening. But if you're resisting it, it's going to induce psychosis because your brain is not going to be able to practically make sense of the extra dimensional supernatural quality of what your spirit is expanding for you to experience. In that your spirit as a light being or your spirit as electromagnetic essence of your body and mind, the voltage that produces itself from the current of your soul and the resistance of your body has quantum mechanics that vibrate different than your physical body. So if you're not fish-tarded and you're trying to materialist reductionist explain this, it will drive you crazy because there's no real scientific postmodern scientific explanation. There's a scientific explanation for everything, but there's no postmodern scientific materialist reductionist explanation for why your spirit is traversing across time and space and you're picking up insights from time that hasn't happened yet because your spirit is not bound by time. Science lied to you. It made you believe that you're just a physical body, but you have voltage. You have a spirit that's not bound by time. And so this Jupiter aspect in the sign of Pisces that represents a realm beyond time and space will align your spirit to catch up to the version of you that's beyond time and space, outside of your meat bag, and tap you into the God level frequency of your vibration and the facets of your own 3D self that cannot accept that part of you will die. And this is why it's happening during Scorpio season. You're going through a death process. The mortal 3D part of you is dying, like a firmware update, where the old version is dead, so the new version can be updated. That part of you that can't accept this new 5D70 self is dying. That's what the eclipse in Taurus set up for this transformation, evolution in Pisces, and action going through in Aries. And so for those of you who are ready to die to that old world and old you're ready to step into this new updated version of your spirit. And that's where your body, as the medium in between, just has to process the seemingly psychotic sense of what you're experiencing. But it's not psychotic. It's just your body updating, like, oh shit. And it's like adjusting the focus to see what was hidden in plain sight. And it's really how much you can embrace your own uniqueness. Okay. The more you've accepted yourself, the more fun this process will be, because Jupiter Scorpio 2018 that held you embrace your insecurities and quirks. Now you've embraced your quirks. You're going to love yourself. If you hate yourself, if you haven't embraced your insecurities or quirks because you'd rather listen to other people's opinions about who they think you should be, this is going to be excruciatingly painful. And you owe it to yourself because you should have just believed in yourself. And so your shadow is going to destroy you and it's going to take you over like bleach. This is where we're going to see people come out of this Jupiter Pisces evil as hell, versus other people come out of this Jupiter Pisces purified as heaven. Okay. For the people who did not honor their shadow is going to destroy them. And just like how bleach, okay, you have to look up inside degrees. Just like how Bleach Ichigo had to fight his hollow self, not everyone's going to beat their hollow self. Some people, their hollow self is the hollow self is a part of you that knows you better than you. Some people are going to lose the battle of their subconscious. This subconscious part of themselves knows their triggers, knows their addictions, knows exactly how they're going to act. They're going to hit you with tower moments, and you didn't do the shadow work, so it's going to take you over. And now this is going to be your new consciousness, and you're going to suffocate behind and below your own unconscious behaviors and sabotage your entire life. Versus others of you who will have taken over this shadow part of yourself, integrated into yourself, and turn it into your literal superpower. Aries and Sag are main characters. It's just Sag is the wild card, and Aries is the anti-hero, or they're the villain. So with that being said, okay. And for those of you who your shadow whooped your ass, that's a good thing. You pick yourself up, whoop its ass back, or just get a little stronger. Some people, for those of you, the stronger your shadow is, the more powerful your superpowers is. For those of you who you don't have that much powerful of a shadow, you probably have higher magical ability. But the more advanced your shadow is, the more advanced you are. So it's supposed to be hard, and you've come over this difficulty. Okay, so with that being said, congratulations, ladies and gents. I think this was very, very, very amazing reading. I'm going to give you, instead of going through the 12 signs, I'm going to give you 5 messages. We'll do elements. My shadow is the Bankai. That's what's up. And I love that analogy. Some of you are like Kenpachi. You've never used your Shikai. See, and this is where there's different development. Some of you've never known the name of your sword. Like you've just been so fucking overpowered. You basically nerfed yourself, and you're finally, for the first time, discovering the name of your Shikai and Bankai. Others of you, you've learned the name of your Shikai, and you've been Shikaiing it. Maybe you were in constant release the whole time, and now you're finally mastering your Bankai for the first time. So this is definitely graduation. You feel me? Like, and you owe it to yourself. Every month was a tower moment this year. That's so true. You owe it to yourself, okay? What I really want to say is that the Sagittarius season, the Scorpio season of this is going to break you through into the next level. This is going to be the death process to where you transform and break through. Then the Sagittarius season level of this is going to be the period where you square, and then your whole perception is changed because you've transformed, and now you've ascended, and then we move forward in Capricorn. Okay, so I got all the live readings, and then we're gonna go down the list, and we're gonna get to everybody. Yanni, I got you. Blue Flame, we're gonna start with you first. For those of you who wanted tarot, I got you. For those of you who wanted live readings, I got you as well. Okay, look at the description box below if you would like to enter the queue. The most important thing I really want to establish here, guys, is that we've already done the work. So the whole purpose of this Jupiter retrograde in Pisces is going to be you facilitating your conscious mind to step you beyond experiences that you have never really experienced, stepping you beyond normal experiences. And now the most important thing about this is some of you have been experiencing this already. For those of you who've been on Crazy Train, the reason why you've been on Crazy Train is because, unlike most other people where everything is in 3D, but their mind is in, but their soul is in 7D, bringing everything there. For you, everything was in 7D, but aspects of your consciousness were still in 3D. So a lot of you right now, you're not crazy, you're genius. You're in 7D, but you're still here in 3D. So the reason why it looked crazy is because you're reacting to 5D, 7D things. This is the portion of your journey where finally the 3D catches up to the 7D you're in. And so you're going, the reason why I'm saying this is some of you right now, I want you to comment an exclamation mark if more than ever. Some of you it may look like you're reverting back to old habits you've done. It may look like you're reverting back to old habits of connecting with certain beings or a certain archetype, or you're just more crazy than normal. You're holding space for stuff that's not here in 3D. The reason why you're doing that is because you're in 7D. Okay, hypnicity, hit the description box below. I'm gonna do a general reading for everyone right now, so you're cool. For those of you who are commenting exclamation mark, the reason why you're feeling this is you're getting ready to anchor in the 7D. So some of you are having telepathic conversations with real people in the 7D, and now when this retrogrades back into Pisces, you're going to finally see in Sagittarius season what you were connecting to, why you were doing this 5D, 7D behavior. You're going to now be given the final sense of context, and it's going to make sense of everything. This is where you're going to realize, oh, I wasn't crazy. I was literally genius. Oh, when I thought that I was connecting with this person, this is what was happening to them in the 3D real time. I wasn't crazy. I was actually literally facilitating something in another realm. Like, it's all going to, based on your actions, now complete by you seeing the evidence of those actions. So it's very exciting. It's a very exciting time. You know what? I'm also going to do a pick a card reading. That's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a pick a card reading. So I'm going to do 4 different cards for your elemental dominant, and then I'm going to do a spirit card. So all of you are going to get the spirit card, but I want you to choose one of the elements for a main message. If some of you want to do the avatar path and choose all 4 elements, you're welcome to do that. But here's a catch. For those of you who choose, so we're going to do a pick a card. You are welcome to choose 1 element, 2 elements, 3 elements, or all 4 elements. Some of you might have different kind of dominance in your chart. You feel me? Others of you can just choose 1 if you're called to choose 1. But for each, and then, so there's going to be 4 cards. You're going to choose 1 out of 4. And then everyone is also going to get the bonus 5th card. The bonus 5th card is the ether card. So I'm going to put 4 elements and an ether card. The ether card is for all of us. That's your higher self. And then you have your yourself from air, fire, water, earth. Now, for each card that you pick, it's going to come with a test or a trial so that you can overcome and gain the message of this. So for those of you who pick all 4, the avatar path, you have to go through all the 4 trials. So if it's going to be like, so this is going to be like a burden, versus if you just do your element, then you'll go through that trial. But if you do all 4, okay, this is like you doing every class in your college. Like, you don't have to, this is very intensive. For some of you, it won't feel intensive. It might be a piece of cake, but I just wanted to let you know that this is a magic pull. Okay, so can we just do push-ups instead? I love that. So, okay, so this is going to be the draw. Well, we got the Emperor. So you're stepping into your power. So this is gonna be the fire card, pile number 1. This is gonna be the earth card, number 2. Fire, earth, air, water is my elemental order. Pile number 3 for the air card is gonna be, this is the air one. And then ooh, yeah, see, water. There's a lot of deep. For anyone who chooses the water pile, there's a lot of deep generational and collective karma you're clearing through. This is pile number 4. That's why I took a bit to shuffle. Oh my God. Look at the fucus in the chat. You're hilarious. All right. And now we have the ether card. Pile number 5. So this is the one for everyone. Okay. Underlying theme. Hey, listen. This is not a joke. We have the wheel. A time of positive change. So we had the Emperor and the wheel. This is it. Jupiter is literally the wheel. Emperor is literally Aries. So this is Jupiter and Aries. You're evolving to the next level. A situation suddenly moves forward. So this card you pick is going to be your key into stepping into this evolution. What path are you going to make it through? For those of you, okay, now I'm also picking up another channel too. So I might have to do another reading after this. The sun or moon path. Oh my God, I get to initiate you in a sun and moon path. I am so honored. I got initiated to this path last week. So I'm being called to initiate you to this. So I'm going to explain this after this reading. First, we're going to do the elements. Then we're going to do the yin yang. So in your mind right now, yin or yang, just want you to choose. Will you walk the path of the moon or the sun? Anyway, if you picked the fire elemental path, we have the 9 of water. You're walking the path of satisfaction. Your wish is coming true. Concerns fade away and a love of life. All right. If you pick the fire path, you can pick all the cards. You can pick 5 cards, 4 cards, 3 cards, but it will come with the trial. So for those of you who pick the fire path, your trial is overcoming imposter syndrome. Your trial is overcoming a lack of worthiness. Some of you may not feel that you're worthy of what you want, and you're blocked from your wishes come true. 444 people watching. Once you overcome this sense of feeling unworthy, you will manifest all of your wishes in supernatural type fashion. Remember, this is coming with the Wheel of Fortune, so this is just going to happen magically. Wheel of Fortune is like a fated, destined moment that puts you in the right place in the right time. This is the path of satisfaction, and this is the path of feeling good. Okay? Really, really beautiful. And I love it. We got a water card for the fire element. So, of course, the weakness of fire is water. And this is where you want to make sure you're not, letting imposter syndrome block you from its yours. So if you chose the earth path, we got the 6 of earth, financial flow. The earth path is the path of philanthropy. So you're going to come into extra financial flow so that you're in a position to give the excess of money you come into to create more financial flow. So for those of you who pick the path of earth, you're going to see a balancing of your material resources. You're going to receive gifts of money, time, and effort, and also give it out as well. So this is a promise that some of you, for any of you that have any debts, you're going to be paying off all your debts. Student loan forgiveness, car notes, credit card debt. It's going to gradually through this period occur by the time Jupiter comes back in Aries. But this is the path of philanthropy. So your trial is going to be overcoming this sense of alienation and lack, overcoming this sense of loss financially, especially. Okay. So that's beautiful. I love that we got an earth card for the earth pile. Now for the air pile, for the airbenders, we have the 3 of earth, teamwork. This is the path of teamwork, the power of creativity. All right. So for air, you're going to connect with soulmates, like minds. This isn't a romantic soulmate. These are soul group soulmates. You're going to connect with people who have a project, an idea you want to get through, and you guys are going to bring through the definition of a great project. Okay. And this is going to get really magical. This is very beautiful. And if any of you can claim whatever, if some of you want to change, if you claim all or not, it doesn't matter. But for pile 3, this is saying that you're going to meet the players and movers and shakers that are going to bring your dream into reality. And you're going to form this team unit. Like if you need a writer, you're going to find a writer. If you need a producer, you're going to find a producer. You're going to have a skill that other people in that team need. You're all going to come together and you're going to come into recognition for the completion of this project. So fire, earth, and air, this is very powerful so far. This is very powerful so far. Minor arcana cards, yes, but very powerful nonetheless. So now we have the water deck. Remember how I said for pile 4, whoever got pile 4, you're definitely breaking through a lot of whatever. So fire got water, earth and air got earth, and water got air. So yes, thank you, Linus. The challenge is you've been trying to overcome for a while, because air is the opposite of earth. So yeah, this challenge you're going to overcome by coming together. Now we have the ace of air for water. Brilliant new ideas. This is victory and an epiphany. So if you chose the water path, you're coming into an epiphany that will make sense of all of the confusion muddled by the intuitions that you gained. For those of you who've walked the water path, you have come into intuitions that align you to things before they happen. So what dark forces did is they muddled up the intuitive collective waters so that the intuitions you gain confuse you based on what's happening in 3D. This helped you purify your own waters so you can know what was coming from you and what was coming from the muddled water, which helped you understand the intuition more. So the ace of air is going to confirm so much of intellectual clarity. And it's cool because air is water's weakness. It's the opposite of water. So basically, you're overcoming the doubt in your intuition, where the ace of air is going to confirm a lot of what you always knew, right? And this is right because you're already air. So this is very, very powerful. For ace of air, this is going to be a new way to communicate. Oh my God, this is a legit oh my God, dude. The elements were all minor arcana card, and now the spirit card is a major arcana. So this is a reading. This is a reading. I might just do these elemental readings instead of the zodiac sign readings, because this was super potent. Okay, so we got the first 4 elements. The fire path is the path of satisfaction. Claim it. Your wishes are coming true. The reason why it's a path is, who are you when you get your wishes coming true? Walking, it's not, some of you think it's just a destination. Some of you think it's like, okay, I got what I want, the end. No. Your story begins getting what you want. Everything up until then was just the prologue. Your trilogy begins walking the path of satisfaction. So if you chose the fire path, who are you when you get what you want? That's what this path is going to lead to, this wheel of evolution. For the earth path, who are you when you come into this financial abundance? How are you going to open and give that to the less fortunate, open this philanthropy? Do you become super greedy, or do you open this financial flow? For the air, who are you when you come into this idea? Okay, how do you become a leader and a team player and mediate the recognition you gain from the work? Do you take all the credit for yourself, or do you honor the people who helped and were a part of what you did? Right? For some of you, for the 3 Earth is going to be a hit song, and maybe you produced it, someone else wrote it, someone else did the PR work for it, and when you get the award, you're going to be like, I want to thank this person for producing it. I want to thank you helped with the writing. Like, how good are you at doing that? And for water, this is going to be the sword of truth, that word you gain that will cut through all falsities. And this is you're going to be able to use to navigate the intuitive arena around you. And shout out to those of you who wrote the song, because congratulations, you made it. So for the spirit card, trust your intuition. We got the high priestess. This is the ether card. All right. You're coming into supernatural and psychic revelation through your intuition. So the engineer for your spirit. So we went through the elemental dominance: air, earth, water, fire. Then you have the 5th element of lightning or ether, your sun sign, your spirit. So the function for the path of your spirit is your intuition. Listen to your intuition, because this is going to unravel and connect everything. All right, especially if you pick the avatar path and you picked all 5 cards. The high priestess is going to help you step into this avatar state by combining all 4 elements of this path, or just taking the dominant you picked and streamlining it through the major arcana. Okay, so if you pick the fire path, your wish is going to come true, but you're going to listen to your intuition to harness that. If you pick the earth path, you're going to step into philanthropy, and your intuition is going to let you know who to lend money to. If you pick the 3 of earth, your intuition is going to guide you into who to form this team with. If you pick the water path, your intuition is going to guide you with what to say and how to say it. I feel so good about this reading. I feel like we just have this is beautiful. So that's it. We did it. Okay, now, there we go. Now I got called to pull you guys into the yin yang. So I'm going to do another reading before we step into the actual readings. And relative to this, okay. All right. So now if you notice, I asked you guys, would you walk the path of the sun and moon? Okay. So here are the possible things. All right. You're going to pick either a yin path card, a yang path card, and then I'm going to pull a yin yang. Yin yang is the fusion, of course, of yin and yang. So you can either choose a yin or a yang, or you can walk the path of yin and yang. Once again, like the elements, walking in the path of yin and yang is going to be a lot. Like if you're just called to walk one, just walk one, because you're going to get the full comprehensive. If you just pick the yin path, you're going to know all about the yin, all about the dark arts, all about the psychic arts, the exorcism. If you pick the yang path, you're going to know all about the light work. You're going to know all about, of course, inspiration, expressing and showing. So if you pick both, you're not going to have time. This is some of you have to pick both because you picked an intensive life. Let's just say if you pick one path will be the equivalent of working for 6 hours in the day. Then you get to relax in the evening, right? Versus yin path, you work in the evening and then you have the day. So if you pick the yin and the yang path, then that means you're working for 12 hours, or 6 hours in the evening, and then 6 hours in the morning. You're not going to have any time to rest. For some of you, you want that intensity. Or some of you, you don't want to, but you're destined to, like you kind of have to. For others of you, it's like, I don't want you to think that you're going to miss out if you just do one path. If you just do the yin path, you're going to gain all the stuff about yin. So you're not missing out on yang. You were just called to the yin. Some of you are called to yin and yang. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. If some of you know what it's like to pull a double shift, that's yin and yang, okay? So I just want to kind of keep that in mind. And then I'm going to explain. Sounds like a nurse's schedule. Right. Exactly. So either way, so here, if most of you are just dominant earth and water signs, I would advise for you to choose the yin path. If you're dominant fire and air signs, use the yang path. If you're a yin yang master, or if you're a yin yang apprentice like myself, like your sun is in a air sign but your moon is in an earth sign, you might want to do both. It's not necessary you do both, but if you kind of have a mix of like air, earth, water, and fire, then you can do both. It might kind of help balance it. All right. Some of you, like if some of you have no fire and no air, the yang path will drive you crazy. You will not enjoy the yang path. If you don't have any earth or water, you're not going to like the yin path. It's just not going to stimulate you, and it can actually do better. And you wouldn't have felt a pull to it. Maybe you don't have it and you were pulled to it, and maybe you need it. So it really depends on what you were called to. Okay. Then I'm going to explain how this works. Should I do it like that? All right, we'll do it like that. So this is the yin yang card. This is the bottom card is going to be the yin yang message. We have the yin card and we have the yang card. Okay. It's not for the weak at all. It's very difficult. It's actually one of the hardest things you can do. So like having your sun and moon in the same element or in between fire and moon is one thing, but once you're a yin yang apprentice, like that's super fucking difficult. And a lot of you don't give yourself credit for that. Like if you're born as a square with your sun and moon, a quincunx with your sun and moon, that is, or an opposition, that is very fucking, not an opposition, but the quincunx and a square is very hard because like you're literally the different polarity, and it clashes. You're fighting yourself for a majority of your life. So that's why, yin yang mastership is very crucial, because it literally helps you learn about both. But you want to honor whatever you are, especially if you're balanced like Isis, all right, or Isidore, Aries, yeah. Isidore Aries, I like your name. So the yin path, okay. Let me break down the yin and the yang path. There's a Fire Emblem game based off of this. Some of you are gonna either choose the path of infiltration or open revolution. This is kind of like divination. I'm doing some divination magic. So if you've read Ghostbusters or Goosebumps, or if you've kind of played a game or read something to where based on what you choose, this will actually now send a frequency out to the universe and manifest it into your 3D post broadcast. So if you don't want this to happen, just click off right now. But personally, you're going to choose the path of infiltration, or, and I'll tell you what path I choose after. Even if you choose the yin yang, you still have to choose which one you're going to do first. So really, you're going to do one path. Another thing is the reason, the benefits of doing one path and not the other is that once you graduate one path, there's a celebration period. Once you actually complete one path, you get to celebrate. For those of you who do both paths, the celebration period you'd have to enjoy what you completed, you're doing the other path. You don't get a celebration period. You don't get a break. You finish that one path, you instantly do the other path. You don't even get a celebration period because the celebration period for each path will have been finished. So your celebration period is just the expertise you gain, because some of you might need it. You're going to celebrate by yourself. That's all I'm going to say. Like, it is what it is. And you'll find the yin yang. So it is what it is. And then see, some of you may have already mastered it. Some of you don't have to do the yang path because you already mastered the yang. Some of you don't have to do the yin path because you were born mastering the yin. Okay, so it is what it is. So if you choose the yin path is the path. Good question. Does it matter if you're from here or not? That's a good question. If you choose the yin path is the path of infiltration and it's the path of secrecy. This is the road to revolution. The yin path is infiltrating the kingdom that they're going to take over. This is a corrupt kingdom. The revolution is taking over the kingdom. There's the yin path and there's the yang path. The yin path is the secret path of infiltration and secrecy. You can always change your mind. It's more binding. So if you whatever you chose before I pull it is binding, because that's what your soul really chose. If you change it after, it may not count because your conscious might now feel like it's more resonating towards one, but you can still change it on your own if you want to. Either way, the yin path of infiltration and secrecy is invading the enemy kingdom as a double agent. You're invading it from within and you're destroying it from within. The yang path is invading the kingdom head on. You're gaining support in the light, and then you're using this support to confront the castle. The yin path will gain support from the yang path. After they've done their work from within, the yang path will take advantage of the inner weakness and storm. The yang path is getting support from the yin path. As the yang path is gaining support publicly, the yin path is weakening it from within, giving the yang path an open. So this is where, you know what I'm saying? Either way, you're really just choosing one. Because if you choose one path, right? If you choose the yin yang path, you have to do one or the other first. And that was just an analogy. The way this applies for your superpowers is if you choose the yin path is relative to, or the yin and yang path, the yin yang path is the road to revolution, the new heaven and the new earth. Right now, we're coming out of the old world. Revolution is going to bring us into the new heaven and the new earth. The new heaven and the new earth is the new age of eternal beings. who are all purified, and we have all stepped into our awakened power. In this age, we're all using our abilities. So, if you're called to the yin path, you have abilities that aren't safe to show. The yin path of secrecy means you're going to manifest your abilities, but you can't tell anybody. The yin path is going to take you through the secrets of the occult, sciences, the secrets of everything in your society, the secret of people's identities, but you have to keep it all secret. You have to, the only people who you can tell are the people who already know without you having to tell them. If you pick the yang path, the yang path is you openly expressing your abilities. You're going to awaken powers that will inspire people to activate their abilities. So the yang path is super fun. This is for those of you who are light workers, who you're meant to light the fire, and people are supposed to see that fire, and you're building a movement. So for those of you who pick the yang path, you're probably going to be super famous. You're probably meant to tour music. You're probably meant to tour your, speak to people, show people your abilities so that they can step into their power. If you're the yin path, you're meant to hold the secrets of the universe so that once we step into the new world, you reveal this to the new world. Then you can use your powers in the new world. This is because for some of you, the yin path will call to you if you have certain abilities that will have you looked at by secret intelligence organizations. If teaching certain elements of your abilities will be dangerous if other people learned. There's certain things that have to be kept in secret. The yin path, you'll be doing your missions in secret. You'll be having to deal with people with secrets. If you're a soul reaper or if you deal with the dead, you're going to walk the yin path because you might have a dream that someone dies and you're not allowed to tell them. If it was the yang path, you have to tell them your dream. If you walk the yin path, there's certain things you have to hold space for people that if you were to tell them would fuck up their fate. And so you're dreaming it for them to hold space for them, to guide them, knowing this knowledge. Okay, if you're like Tessa, you might have elements of the yin and yang. So I hope this really breaks down for you because this is very powerful. For those of you with the yin path, you're going to be using superpowers, but you have to keep it secret. You have to live a double life. For those of you who have the yang path, you have, like, they're both revolutionary facets. For the yin path, you're going to hide your superpowers because you're going to infiltrate the dark points of this world. Some of you will enter government. Some of you will enter military so that you can do that. Others of you who are the yang path, you're going to fight head on these forces. You're going to be a target, but it's going to be so much fun because you're going to build and create a movement. Okay. Then we have the yin yang. So if you pick the yin card, we have the Ace of Earth. Ace of Earth is the physical manifestation of a supernatural ability. This is your double life because now you've manifested physically $100 bill in your hand. It is the Uranus and Taurus physical manifestation of your supernatural ability through an experience, a concept, or a physical object. Your mission is to keep this secret. You're going to grow this treasure. This is going to be a seed you manifest and then you build into an empire, but it's a secret empire as a part of a secret war. This is a secret fortune that you're going to build and create a black market. Some of you might deal with drug dealers, not because you have to have anything to do with drugs, but drug dealers are an archetype of people who exist outside the market. And so you'll be dealing with these type of people inevitably. Okay. This all begins right now. Great question. This all begins right now, especially as Jupiter will go back into Pisces. So Jupiter going back into Pisces is you beginning to walk this path. It's the path raising up. And then once Jupiter goes back into Aries, you're walking that path. Okay. So the yin path is anywhere from now until Next week, once we step into the eclipse, you are manifesting physically this superpower. You can't tell anybody. In fact, if you tell anybody, it will ruin your relationships. If you show somebody that you can do this and they have no purity, they're going to keep using, they're going to want to use you. Like, it'll completely deteriorate. It'll kind of like taboo Pandora's box it, and you'll see people obsessed with you for the wrong reasons. Versus if they're pure hearted, they'll already know you have the ability, and then you can tell them about it. So this is where you, if you walk this path, you've seen this card. The Ace of Earth is going to happen to you in less than 24 hours, or has already happened to you. You'll know because you can replicate it every time you want to do it. It's not something that you do and then maybe it happens. Every time you want to do it, you can manifest this superpower, whether it's in wealth, could be buku wealth, but there's a supernatural way you manifested it. It's not buku wealth that comes naturally. It's something induced. Okay. My higher self. I get this information channeled directly from my higher self. My moon in Capricorn is tapped into Neptune, Uranus, and Saturn. So I'm tapped into a space beyond this time and space. Soul World. If anyone knows about Soul World, I actually come from Soul World. It's the world where your soul goes after this construct. Maybe you see it in your dreams. But yes, I get all my information from this magical space. So yes, Ace, and I think many of you do too. It's not to be confused with the Akashic Records, which is a part of Soul World, and not to be confused with Soul Society. There's different Soul Societies. Type Kubo, really, I wish I said his name right, but the creator of Bleach tapped into his Moon, Pluto, Libra. So he wrote about social, Libra, soul, social, society, Soul Society. But if you know about Bleach, there's multiple Soul Societies. There's a West London, a reverse London branch. So you have different Soul Societies as a part of Soul World. Oh, Soul World is super fun. But yeah, you could say I'm a secret agent from Soul World here undercover, but that's neither here nor there. So Ace of Earth, this is going to be the culmination and crystallization of the divine mystical part of yourself manifested. You must safeguard it as it guides you through. You're going to build on this. Okay. It is a video game. I love that. So the Yang path is the Wheel of Fortune, whereas the Yin path is manifesting something into reality from nothing. The Yang path is the wheel. So Archangel Michael is going to assist you in this path of evolution, where you're going to come into a burst in evolution of all your gifts. It's going to go to the next level. And everything you touch will Midas touch evolve people. That's your facet of the revolution. As you reveal your gifts, it evolves other people. And so you're going to, thank you so much, Fresh Girl Fitness, pioneer and step through here. This is where, if you go with Yang, you're going to express all of this first. Okay. And then if you go with Yin after, you'll understand this. But this is where I take that back. You really can't do Yin and Yang. You have to do Yin or Yang. You're either going to express this fully with the Yang and move forward into the new heaven and new earth, or you're going to keep certain things secret into the new heaven and new earth. So this is kind of controversial because my whole life I thought I was going to go with the Yang path. I was Gemini. Then I awakened to the fact that I have the Cap moon. So this is where my Gemini sun is walking the path of Yang, and my Capricorn moon is walking the path of Yin. For those of you who are Yin Yang apprentices or masters, this is how you're going to do both. If you know what I'm saying, if your sun is in an earth sign or water sign, you can still do the Yang. You know what I'm saying? You're not limited here, right? But personally, I'm actually walking the path of Yin. Once again, you'll see this, my sun sign walk the path of Yang, but really I'm gonna be walking the path of Yin. And it's something that I awakened to very unexpectedly. I didn't expect to take this path, but I am a keeper of secrets, and I am connected to the great darkness in a way. I'm not even really a light worker. I just have the light. I had to do light work because I'm going to be an exorcist. I am going to be someone who deals with spirits as a medium, and the Yin path has called me. Okay. For those of you who the Yin path is called extensively, you have to do some work in the yang path initially, because you need to take the light to deal with the dark, you know. uh the yang path is so much more fun though. So as a yin yang master, um you know, I'm definitely going to put in some yang work. That could change. Maybe I could find out I'm really meant to walk the yang path. So we'll see. But regardless, right. Regardless, um, it'll let you know what route, how you'll know you're like, some of you could be walking the yang path now, and then you'll finally start the yin path. So this is how you'll know. If you're walking the yin path, you'll manifest this ability, and it's tied into you infiltrating an organization that you will play the part but weaken from within. So if I chose the yin path, for example, you might see that moving forward from 2023, I may no longer be on YouTube. Maybe I'm on television. And so all the stuff that I talk about freely here, I can't talk about there. Does that make sense? Like, I'm in the yin path, so I'll play the part. I'm not going to talk about the stuff that might get me canceled or that got my channel flagged. Versus if I walk the yang path, then I can just get on my own platform and expose people left and right, and then just evolve and evolve and evolve. So you're going to walk the path. You'll know which one it is you're going to go through. And the yin yang message we have is renewal, awakening. So you are with Pluto awakening to the right direction. And this awakening of your power will let you know whether your power will walk the yin path or whether it will walk the yang path. Some of you have been yin your whole life and you're getting ready to walk yang. This is going to induce a spiritual awakening with new feelings. So yeah, definitely look forward to that. And yeah, now we're going to step into the live readings. Okay. I hope that message spoke to you. That was a very powerful reading. And I'm glad to help initiate you into this path. Okay. So, first reading we're going to do is Blue Flame Integration. This was definitely a W stream. Thank you guys so much. This really just flowed, to be honest, at this point. So please look forward. Please look forward to this, because this is going to be the creme de la creme of this evolution. Thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate you. So first, we're going to do Blue Flame. Blue Flame, the card that we have for you. I know you asked me a specific question too, so let's see. Okay. Should you move forward with the date? So Blue Flame, I got the 7 of Fire and the 6 of Water. So it looks like you might have a soulmate connection with him. I get the sense that he's going to keep on being persistent if you said no. So you might as well just say yes. 7 of Fire is victory. It's telling you to stand up for your beliefs. And the bottom card being the 6 of Water seems to be, you know, this could be the soulmate connection, and this is really defending your beliefs. Either, oh, okay, cool. You're here. So I just texted you that too right now. And yeah. So this is really saying yes, but I don't know if the 7 of Wands is him being persistent towards you. regardless, Six of Cups is a good look. It does look pretty innocent, and there is something pure between you two, which is promising. Okay. Next we have the Inner Wealth Savage. The Inner Wealth Savage. We have, of course, the Tower card, life experience. Okay. This is going to be a significant life event that will provide necessary revelation for you moving forward. And the Queen of Air. You want to take a very professional approach and put yourself in a position to, act objectively and to stay focused on whatever plans you're moving forward with. This could also be a Libra woman type figure that helps you break through this period as well with her advice and insight. London Short. No problem, Blue Flame. So, London, we have the Magician. This is the one. Okay. You are ready. You have the resources and ability to manifest them. And the main card we have for you is the Page of Water, new intuitive feelings, a new person entering your life, a relationship begins a new phase. If this is a new love, this could be your most compatible soulmate. This could really just be new intuitive abilities and heightened psychic abilities that are going to really round about your innate skills and gifts. So this is just promising you that as you're stepping into this new emotional phase, whether through a new relationship or whether through new intuitive abilities, you have all the resources you need to really break through this period. Very powerful, really, really promising moving forward as well. Okay. Beautiful. So next we have Love Goddess. What's the most important message for Tori that my spirit guides need me to know? Great question. For anyone who would like an astrology reading, I see Ruth, you commented your birthday. Please click the description box below and you can join the queue if you would like a live reading. Okay, so for Tori, we do have the Queen of Earth, and this is coming with the Five of Fire. So you may be brainstorming ideas with this grounded queen figure. I'm going to pull another card for you, though. What does the universe want you to know? We got the Ace of Fire. There's a brand new opportunity, and it's coming with the Eight of Water. So we do have clashing with this grounded, wealthy queen. If this is you as the Queen of Earth coming into more financial prominence, you're going to be coming into more brainstorming and clashing of personalities. But the Eight of Cups could also be you walking away from that which doesn't serve you in order to walk towards a brand new opportunity during this period that could really excite you moving forward as well. So something to keep in mind for sure. All right. So Carrie, I got you. So next we have Sarah. Sarah Sklu. Tarot card. So Sarah, we have the Knight of Air, which is events that occur with great speed, moving forward with integrity of heart. And this comes with the High Priestess. So listen to your intuition. It's just with the Knight of Air, you're going to come into a message of the truth very fast. Ruth, yes, I'll do a live reading if you email me your sun, moon, and rising, or your chart, I'll do a live reading of Jupiter back into Pisces and what it'll do for your chart. Uh, if you want an actual reading, go to my website, thepeacedealer@gmail.com, and you could order a recorded report or a consultation. So, Sarah, this is saying that your intuition is going to come in very fast, and that whereas the Knight of Pentacles will analyze it, you don't want to spend time analyzing how right your intuition is. Just leap forward to where your intuition guides you. This could also be your intuition about this Knight of Air figure, if that also comes through here too. So for those of you who would like a reading, once again, click the description box below and you will see the instructions. Sheeman Scott, thank you very much for the tarot jar from Mrs. Scott. We have the Five of Air. Okay, the Five of Air is mediating through this miscommunication, coming through, of course, the peace dealer at Gmail, the peace dealer, not peace dealer. But Five of Air could be you might be in a scattered energy or have a scattered mind. This is you really overcoming miscommunication. And the main card we have for you is new opportunity, an exciting new opportunity, the Ace of Fire. Your life is going to be changed with this career advancement. So it's like you're breaking through this sense of miscommunication and friction with this brand new passion. And you just want to be very mindful about who you communicate to or how you do, just knowing that there's this friction in the air. Okay. T to the H to the E. Okay. And so Carrie, got a tarot reading for you. You guys are amazing. I just wanted to, I didn't get to say, I forgot to say this in the beginning, and I want to just continue to say this every beginning of the transit. But I just want to thank you guys so much for the support that you guys have given me. I really do enjoy just going live and shooting the shit with you, breaking down these transits to you. They truly are magical. I'm so very grateful that I'm able to even provide the assistance and support I do. So I'm just going to continue to incorporate just being thankful as we make this more real and do more real meetups. This is always the best part of my week. I really do appreciate that. Okay. I have a copy of my chart. Do I send to your messenger? Send it to my email at thepeacedealer@gmail.com, or you can just comment your sun, moon, or rising, and you can email that to my email as well. Okay. Or if you send it in, if you send it in PayPal, you can put that in the notes. If you send it to Cashapp or Venmo, you can put those details in the notes as well. Okay. Woo! Much appreciated, yo. All right. So for Carrie, we have the King of Water. This is emotional compassion. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice. Charity work. I think a lot of the success of your work can lead into charity work. Carrie, this could be like a Scorpio or a very compassionate king as well, who really kind of helps you moving forward, amongst other things. So we do have this with the Sun card. And relative to the Sun card, you're coming into a very happy outcome. This Scorpio and Sagittarius season is going to eclipse this breakthrough of wherever Pisces in your chart, and you're going to break through the success. So lead forward that with the confidence. I think you're going to feel very fulfilled and you're going to come into a lot of happiness. The sun is exalted in your chart. And so this is going to also come a long way towards breaking you through to this next level of victory and sharing that happiness to those who've been really by your side and helping you. Okay. Danielle Efferson, coming out of a tower moment. Any guidance? Let's see what we got. So we do have Ace of Fire. I don't know why I heard the song No Guidance by Drake and Chris Brown. I've never really listened to that song, but I know they have a song. Maybe you want to listen to that and dance to that. I don't know why that came up though, but we do have the Ace of Fire. So you're coming out of a tower moment, and out of that rubble is a brand new spark. Okay, so You're on the precipice of stepping into a brand new journey, which you want to be very excited. Coming out of the Pisces, Jupiter retrograde, and back into Aries, it's going to be a brand new cycle. So we have the 5 of air. This is the calm before, this is the aftermath of the storm, and you kind of coming into victory, even though it may feel like an empty victory because you spoke your mind. This is you mediating miscommunication, and past that, the 7 of earth. This is reconstruction after the war. So it's like you went through the tower moment, and after the smoke, you're now reconstructing. You're taking the patience to build back up and build back better. Okay, and this is what's going to lead into the ace of fire. So this is really just you reevaluating all the friction you went through, and now taking a new long-term investment towards a new direction and approach. So that ace of fire is going to be very active in really pushing you forward accordingly into the next cycle and the next step. All right. So now we're going to do Yanni D. Yanni, thank you so much for your patience. We see you are a Sag rising, a master Sag rising. We know you got your sun in the 3rd decan of Gemini and your moon in Aquarius. Damn, G. All right, peace, God. That's what's up. So you're the cosmic angel, and you have this as an instrument of Hades, being an ascended being. So as an ascended angelic being, or as an ascended cosmic angelic being, you have the knowledge of truth that you show to other people as a 7th house Gemini. You're super badass, bro. You show and tell. So you have this very brilliant, enlightened magic that as people are thinking things, you can show them what they're thinking. And it freaks people the hell out because of how extremely and on timing you are on with this. So it's really something to keep in mind, because anything that you were unconscious or subconscious of, now that Pluto is awakening your moon in Aquarius over the next decade, and Saturn is strengthening this is going to really do a lot to develop the strengthened focus of your 3rd house Aquarius that's manifesting more value of the knowledge that you express, and thus the supernatural quality of your aqua moon cosmic soul. You are the Gemini that knows what they're saying. And with the Sag rising, it pushes you forward into this ascended self-expression by showing the higher meaning of what you're saying, because the word in the dictionary is Gemini and the meaning of the word is Sagittarius. So Pisces is your 4th house. This is facilitating a move. You may have moved, or you're renovating your inner home, or you're renovating your inner soul world. This is expanding the element of how you tap into your private life and the overlapped imagination of your soul world, so that this can provide foundation for the original sense of creativity that 2023 will bring into the evolution of your inner child. So this is going to be the inner soul space and the supernatural abilities aligned with lucid dreaming and being able to incorporate abstract elements of yourself in a space and home you feel comfortable doing so that you can break through accordingly. And the eclipse that we're having coming out of your 12th is going to completely transform occult hidden aspects of your spiritual beliefs so that you can manifest a lifestyle that grounds intangible elements of your own beliefs about how supernatural you are. Because as a new gen, you are a vessel of Uranus and Aquarius. You have one of the most genius supernatural souls ever. You are super fucking psychic, bro. A 98 aqua moon has Uranus and Neptune on that moon. Y'all are no joke. And it's not easy to be that level of cosmic in a world that doesn't fit you in it. Well, now this is starting to have you carve that way and path and understand what it means to be out of this world. Now that you've accepted that you're an angel with this, out of all the angels that exist, you're a higher celestial cosmic order angel. So you're the type of angel that the rest of angels report to. Morgan Freeman is this type of angel, and he played God. You know what I'm saying? So like, this is a collective individuality. So congrats, bro. You've broken through a lot, and this is going to really help facilitate this next level of where you go. So next, we're going to do Christian Dixie, born 2001. at 5:55 p.m. That's amazing. Aqua Sun, Sag Moon, Leo rising. I love Sag Moon, Aqua Suns. Y'all are some of the most amazing people. One of the most legendary battle rappers alive and dopest rappers, Daylight, is a Sag Moon, Aqua Sun. Whenever he raps, the 11th house nature of the Sag Moon has the crowd go wild. XXX Tentacion, Aqua Sun, Sag Moon, Logic, Aqua Sun, Sag Moon. Like that's one of those combinations that's fucking legit. I'm gonna just be real. It makes you the ascended celestial. So as a celestial, you're already out of this world as a cosmic representative of knowledge. The ascended celestials uplift humanity outside of the box and show people from a celestial viewpoint the higher meaning of reality. These are the Aquarians that'll blow your fucking mind with their imagery and show you how to look at things from outside the system. They're also trolls. They can be hilarious as fuck. But the thing here is knowing that you have this as a Leo rising, a main character, means that you're the main character that is a narrator, but you understand that wild card dynamic. And what's also key here is that as a Leo rising, this breakthrough of Jupiter retrograding is going to fundamentally evolve your divine boundaries and your dealings with other people. As an Aquarius sun, it is manifesting the supernatural quality of your imagination. Aqua risings and aqua suns with Neptune and Jupiter going through the second is having you break through the supernatural dynamic of imagining anything and manifesting the concepts or the ideas into reality. It is the advanced form of mentifery that Taurus suns and risings are doing with Gemini. Aquarius is doing this with Pisces, bringing in the abstract. I don't know how else to tell you this because it is supernatural. There's nothing normal about your ability to literally grab stuff in your imagination and make it real. That's advanced, right? So as a Leo rising, your ability to manifest this at Aqua is now helping you know who do you invest that ability with? Who do you trust with that ability? And that's why it's hard to be a Leo rising with the 8th house Pisces, because Pisces doesn't have any boundaries. That's the one sign that's nebulous with no boundaries. And you've been having to learn the hard way why you shouldn't trust the wrong people. Leo risings with the 8th house Pisces are trusting people who, with that fog of Pisces, look the part. They know just what to say to get your trust, but they're finessing you the whole time because Pisces is the ultimate finesser. And so you have to trust your intuition. Your Leo rising is the main character. You know what I'm saying? And so with Leo rising being the main character, this is putting you in a position to, everyone wants to know the main character. The main character has to draw advanced boundaries or divine boundaries because relative to this, you don't know who might be trying to take advantage of you, right? So this is putting you in a position to not only advance those boundaries, but relative to your second house in Virgo, you're taking your real value and this is expanding who wants to invest in what you have. So it's really opening up self-employment. It's really opening up a very powerful element of investments. And because your moon is squaring this, it's also going to fundamentally transform how much more creatively you express yourself towards others and influence and transform your relations with others. Now that Saturn is finishing out your 7th and upgrading all your relationships. So this is going to be very transformative. And then Aries in your 9th house is going to uplift you into the rising star year and prepare for amazing career breakthrough. Okay. And congratulations, if anything. So next we have Steve Yontis. Jupiter retrograde plus Sun and Venus conjunct my ascendant today at 25 Libra. Steve, we know that you have the moon in Aqua and the sun in Taurus. because you are an OG. And so as a 25-degree Libra rising, this eclipse is going to be in your first, second house. And we know that Jupiter is retrograding back into your sixth house as a late Libra rising. The retrograde back into your sixth house is going to evolve your lifestyle fundamentally. Take all of the critical analysis of the abstract quality of your spiritual beliefs and bring them more into integrating this abstract supernatural facet guided by your imagination, to take elements of your imagination and bring them into your routine and into your reality. This is you effectively living the dream life, so that once you reevaluate the stepping into of this dream life, that the eclipse is going to manifest more strength to support. You're going to bring the evolution of this dream life back into Aries to evolve all your partnerships, as this April will be close to your DC at 22 degrees, Jupiter, Aries, Sun in Aries. And you will now bring this integration of the divine lifestyle into every one of your partnerships and begin to spill over the eclipse work on your sun. So this is definitely very, very powerful, especially knowing the sun and Venus is conjunct today at your rising, which is going to push you forward so much more into developing very powerfully this element in nature of this aspect of your energy and of your power. Okay. So let's see. That being said, Christian, I'm glad that resonated for you. Also, Steve, you'll find that because the sixth house also correlates to your health, you may find alternative solutions and holistic health methods to evolving your health and your lifestyle and routine to the next level that may not be regulated by the government, but is supernaturally effective, if you catch my drift. Okay. So let's see. Nari Moore. Let's see. Nari Moore. I'm not sure who paid for that one. Oh, Naquan Moore. I got you. Naquan, I got you. So for Nari, we know that your rising is in Sag. You're born in 97, so you're new gen. You got Jupiter in Aqua. This retrograde back into your fourth on your south node, because 97 is 79 and 97 is the heaven to earth generation. From heaven to earth, you're bringing heaven to earth. As an ascended being at that, because you're fucking badass, you're the cosmic priestess as a Cancer sun. So you and me are transformers. You are a vessel of Uranus and Jupiter. And so you transform into a god. So out of all the transformers, you have the god transformers, in that you and I are collective individuals. We're transformers, but the point of transformation, we are the vessel of an outer planet. So we transform into that planet. You have been manifesting the strengthening of this transformation state as you manifest this very extraordinary skill sets as a child prodigy and an overall genius. So basically, Jupiter is going to facilitate a move for you. Jupiter going through this pivotal period in your fourth, you can move or you can renovate your inner space, similar to Yanni D. This is going to put you in a position to take the inner space of your imagination in your soul and put you in a position to deepen how much more comfortable you are within yourself. But because your south node is here, this is also going to unlock very magically the space you're destined to be in, so that you can create this career success in the societies you're meant to create them. I'm not going to hold you. This is going to be high key delusional, because you have Neptune 29 degrees Capricorn. So those of you born with 97 and 98 with 29 degrees, you're the most psychic people ever. That sextile that Jupiter is going to have is going to break you forward into an advanced element of your intuition that's not going to make sense. It'll only make sense to you. As long as you don't let other people gaslight you, this is going to be very fun. But just have fun with it and don't get lost in it, because this can induce a sense of escapism that Styles P, Sagittarius, said when he goes to sleep, he goes back home. He didn't say it like that, but that's referencing the fourth house Pisces. Okay. So fifth house and the 10th house. Fifth house is the creative project. 10th house is the reputation. 11th house is what's your fan base. Okay, you want to look at all the houses, but great question. So yeah, that being said, this retrograde is going to impact a lot that, and as a Cancer sun, it's going to really ascend the philosophy around where you should live. And this eclipse is going to transform your lifestyle that can have you ground and live this reality. Ruth Raymond, I got your chart. I just have not got your payment. Okay. Other than that, we do have Eden Croft. Thank you for your chart. $73. So we know you've been through the Uranus rodeo. You're coming into graduation and completion. I have some people, some people are looking at you with the evil eye, and that shit is bouncing off of you, and they are so frustrated. Like they're punching their fists in the air because they didn't know that it wouldn't work on you. And that's all they can do. And they assumed that they thought you were a small fry. So they thought they were going to be able to deal with you. And now they're realizing that they can. They're punching their fists in the air because their evil eye just keeps bouncing off of you. And then especially you, my friend, Eden, you're a main character. You got Jupiter, North Node, and Mars in Leo. So you're like a super main character. As a sponsor, Scorpio Sun and a critic soul. So you got the CIA energy. So basically, as a critical pure queen, as a solar queen, this is going to transform your boundaries. But as a Scorpio Sun, you're going to be transforming the understanding of trust oh, Ruth, I got your Cash App, that goes into how creatively you express yourself. Because as a Scorpio Sun, Jupiter retrograding back into Pisces, I love Secret Agent. That's also cool too. Jupiter is going to evolve your inner child. But who do you trust with that level of creativity? Thank you, Ruth. I got you. Okay. Who do you trust with that level of creativity? As a Leo rising, this is going to draw greater boundaries, but Saturn is unlocking the past life partnerships that are destined to take you to the next level here. Shout out to the Immortal Squad. Okay. So, with that being said, what's very key here is the trust that you are gaining with people who have proven themselves trustworthy is going to push you. Thank you so much, Shannon. Is going to push you forward into a much greater definition of how, with this greater transformation and investment and self-employment preparation, you break through with the eclipse in your 10th house into greater independent career success. So as a Scorpio Sun, this is really preparing you to marry the game or to marry people who will push you forward in your business and to develop greater self-employment means than ever before. This is just going to require a very crucial and powerful element, especially having, oh, wait, I made a mistake. This isn't your chart. I made a mistake. I'm so sorry. My dumbass put in 2073 instead of 1973. Okay, so you are a Leo rising, you are a Scorpio sun. It's just your Scorpio moon. So I take that back. Everything I said is still applicable. So everything I said still counts. It's just instead of moon in Scorpio, your moon is on Mercury at the end of Scorpio. So everything is still the truth that I said. Basically, you're going to be transforming the boundaries around how much more comfortable you are expressing your creativity. But eighth house and fifth house are self-employment. Okay, who invests into your business? Fifth house is the creativity you put into your business. And then you have this 10th house breakthrough, which is going to be very powerful. Okay, so just keep that in mind. The eclipse is going to really activate and unlock your central energies. But as a main character, this is going to evolve how you ascend into the next level as this goes into Aries, and how you're transforming your relationships with others by the boundaries you're drawing. Okay. Next, we have Jennifer Nunez. Okay. For my son, Tristan. Now, Jennifer, I haven't gotten your chart. So, did you want tarot cards? please confirm you wanted tarot cards. If you want his chart, please email me his sun, moon, and rising to my email. And other than that, Ruth, Eden, thank you very much. Oh, Jennifer, please email. It might have gone to spam, but can you send it again? Because I just deleted all my spam, just in case. Or maybe you sent it and I just didn't see it. No. Yeah, so please just email me the chart again to the peacedealer@gmail.com, and I got you. Ruth, I did get your email. Beautiful. Okay. So we know you're Virgo sun and Aries moon. You're a transformer like us, which is awesome. Aries rising. So, Ruth, as an Aries rising, this is really important because you're getting ready to go through a brand new 12-year cycle. Congratulations. You, like us, are a transformer in that your moon is 8 houses away from your sun. And so you're very kind, but when people get to really know your personality, you're a whole gangster. Like you're a stepper. Like you'll cut somebody. You're a warrior. You're the warrior critic. Okay, the warrior master. And so Jupiter is getting ready 2023, starting from January, to break you through into this next definition of yourself. From 2010 to 2022, you've been evolving. That's why you're here for this reading, because you're getting ready with this retrograde to let go of the old 12-year chapter, the old beliefs around yourself that no longer apply. And as a Virgo sun, Jupiter in Pisces is evolving your awareness of partnerships. So you're changing and releasing old beliefs around your relationships with other people and how you've grown so much more and how you're so much more masterful and so much more powerful and magical with other people. So that when Jupiter goes back over your rising 2023, you're evolving this brand new 12-year cycle. The last time you did this was 2010. So now you've completed 12 years worth of evolution and you're ready to go back again. April of 2022, Jupiter is going to be conjunct your moon and kick off this cycle on your soul. So you're getting ready to push forward considerably. Jennifer, I got your sun's chart. And I really want to know what you feel about this, because this is very exciting. That precipice of energy of how it comes back into Pisces is going to accelerate your development so much because you have Saturn in Virgo. And so when Saturn goes through Pisces from 2023 to 2025, you'll be completing your Saturn return. All of the hard work and the social karma that you're a gangster. You're a gangster. You got Saturn on your sun in Virgo. I just realized that, which means you probably have the North Node in Virgo too. You have North Node in Leo. So you're a whole gangster out here. So you are very important because you have put in a lot of karmic work as a Saturn Sun Virgo socially. You have social karma. You're completing the social karma that you put in since 2008 and 2010 throughout Saturn and Pisces, so that as an Aries rising, the social karma you put in was to live a disciplined lifestyle, to help serve other people so that they can add integrity to their life. You're someone who helps people's behaviors, like a psychotherapist or like a therapist or a psychiatrist or a nurse. And so Saturn and Pisces is completing that social work by completely releasing old spiritual beliefs that complete the work you've done to facilitate this lifestyle change, so that you can now change the world's lifestyle or the spiritual beliefs. Okay, so it's amazing because you're getting ready to release all of that. You've completed 12 years worth of evolution and you're ready to move forward and clear all of that. So 2023 is the first one. Yes, you work the nursery homes. 12th house is also a house of isolation, prisms, homes. So you may be concluding your karma there. 2025 is going to be when you move forward with a new awakening and you've cleared all that karma you've worked for since 2008. So congratulations. Your career may change around this period because this is setting you up for retirement pretty much, which is well deserved and well earned. I hope that reading was really good for you. So you have a lot to look forward to because this is pushing you forward another 12 years of evolution, and you've cleared the karma. So whereas the past 12 years was you really putting in this work of service, this next 12 years is just enjoying your life. You no longer having to deal with the burden, and you just finally doing what you've always wanted to do. So for Tristan, okay. Tristan is born in 99. We see that he's an ascended master with the Pisces sun and a Cancer moon and a Scorpio rising. So he's triple water, which makes him super psychic and super emotional. Now, the super emotional doesn't necessarily have to do with him being super emotional as much as him being very receptive. Really quick, to answer your question, Ruth, the stellium in your sixth house means you put in a lot of emphasis over lifestyle and routines. You may have OCD when it comes to sorting through your health regimen. So the stellium you have in your sixth is breaking through the lifestyle that supports your career, especially as a nurse or helping other people. Sixth house in the social Virgo is integrating health issues and lifestyle. So that stellium means your focus, even as an introvert, is nitpicking and sorting through the integration of behavior. And so that's what you have, of course, broken through. So once again, Tristan, this triple water, especially at your young age, representing the advanced new generation, is you breaking through what it means to be a highly empathic and emotional man. You are the new generation man that, unlike men of the old world like me, we were not taught to embrace our emotions. He says people don't understand him or what he's talking about. That's because your son Tristan comes from a different world. As a fourth house Pisces sun, he's not even really from here. So he's bringing in the divine from a realm beyond this one. And the reason why people don't understand him is because he doesn't speak 3D. It's too basic for him. He's a pure king. Scorpio rising means with Mars on his rising, he's a pure king and ruler. So like he can't dumb himself down to a certain level and be basic. And he's at the same time also going to be super receptive and sensitive to the vibrations around him. So he's engineering divine creativity to speak this empathic language, but he's going to represent what it means to be a man fully in touch with his emotions without it being seen as weak or feminine, overly feminine. With Neptune and Uranus in his third, fourth house, this is a bit of him being a child prodigy. He is most definitely going to develop his powers. But the thing with him is he's too advanced. So this generation of kids that are too advanced, it's taking a while personally because Saturn is breaking it through. Right now, he's at the crux of finally being comfortable with this advanced alien element of his language. And that Saturn finishing out of Aquarius to where he'll be more comfortable developing his inner child once Jupiter finishes out of Pisces. So the retrograde back into Pisces is going to go over his Mercury. He has a 2-degree Pisces Aries, Jupiter Aries with Venus. So 2023, once Jupiter goes back over his Jupiter, he's going to be more square of being more comfortable expressing his talents and speaking through his talents. Because being born in 99, he's 29 degrees Saturn Aries. He's a leader of the new school and a creator of the new world. And this is where he's going to learn more how to really communicate better, but he wants to embrace his personal language. It's good that people don't understand him because he's rare. As a Scorpio rising, what power should he focus on? Well, personally, as a Cancer moon, he has intuitive soul power. As a Pisces sun, he has extrasensory perception. As a Scorpio rising, he's super psychologically adept. So what powers he's focusing on is once Jupiter moves forward, he's going to evolve his talents. So all of 2023, it's going to evolve the talents he will begin to focus on. And because it's attached to his 29-degree karma, he's going to begin to master this. And movie making as a director could definitely be something he gets into, but what he actually does will be a little bit different. So the cool thing about this is from now until next year, a whole bunch of creativity is going to open up, and that will let him know what direction he wants to move forward in with developing his powers. But he doesn't have just one power. He's an ascended master. He's a Pisces sun. So like he has so many abilities, and he's going to learn coming post this retrograde what direction he wants to take his creativity in. So he doesn't know it now, but he will know it moving forward post 2023. For now, he just wants to get comfortable really sitting with this advanced energy he represents, because it is very powerful, and he's clearing all that Pluto energy that's breaking out of his third house as a Scorpio rising and awakening, an ascended level of abilities. So Rosa, last but not least, Rosa Mata, we know that you are a late cap rising. We know that you have your sun in Sag, and we know you have your moon in Pisces. So this retrograde of Pisces is going to go back and finalize the evolution of your moon and soul. It's going to expand the receptivity to the supernatural insight. Jennifer, thank you so much. I really do hope it resonates with him. It's going to expand your Pisces moon receptivity to all the supernatural experiences you've been having. Rosa, you told me something that was very key and important. And what has occurred here personally when you've been explaining or expressing this dynamic of Jenny Jones, I don't think I got your payment. When you were explaining this dynamic of you going through these episodes, Rosa, of personally, feeling that your visions, or you're seeing things that are basically visual hallucinations. The reason why you're gaining visual hallucinations is because you're supernatural. And now the capacity of Neptune on your moon and what your soul is feeling was too much for your brain in the 12th house at that to see, and it was overloading your conscious mind. So now Jupiter coming back into your soul is going to evolve your soul's ability to receive what you've been seeing, so it can buffer a lot of these episodes you've been having, and thus step you into a brand new level of psychic supernatural phenomena, to where now your hardware can handle it. This is evolving your soul, and it's also preparing you for a move. But as a late cap rising, it is finalizing the full on evolution of your divine abilities and skill sets. Okay, so that you can do everything you do at a much more masterful divine level. And a lot of this evolution has much to do with the proliferation of expanding your soul's capacity to be a container for these supernatural experiences, so that you're no longer having these anxiety attacks due to the psychic attacks, and just how sensitively you are receptive and are aware of these supernatural dynamics. So once again, it's just going to kind of smooth that over. So let's see. Super chat. Okay, I did Blue Flame, I did Yanni D, I did Inner Wealth Savage, I did London Short, and I did Love Goddess with Tori Starkley. And that's it. I don't see your super chat. Yeah, I don't see your super chat. So I don't know if you sent it and maybe it didn't go through. But yeah, I don't see you on here. Unless you paid with a different name, maybe. Shouldn't we release what is relevant, not relevant at all? Yeah, workshops would definitely be pivotal. But yeah, if you paid in super chat, I don't see it. I see Janarian, Uraeus, Love Goddess, Dexavelli, Kai Reimer, London Short, and Inner Wealth Savage. That's it. Steve, thank you so much. I'm glad you are were tuned in for that. Okay, I think you're gonna really enjoy this. But if you still want to pay in super chat, I'll do last call real quick. But if not, I will be dipping out of here. Okay. So yeah. Whew. Okay, there we go. Jenny Jones. Suna, yes. If you want a chart reading, you can email me your sun, moon, or rising, or you can email me your actual chart. Okay. I am doing last call now, though, for anyone who wants any readings. This is your last call for tarot or astrological. So, Jenny, thank you for your payment. We have the soulmate card, the Six of Water, as an underlying theme. Memories from your history or childhood. Um, Issues regarding children, romanticizing the past. So, the main card we have for you is the Ten of Earth. A very happy family life, financial security, finding magic in the little things in life. You might rendezvous with the soulmate and you might create a long-term partnership that will have grandchildren. This is also going to be passive income. This is the bag. You're manifesting a lot of wealth. Suna, when is the next time I'm doing readings? I'm going to go live again for Venus and Scorpio on Friday. So that'll be the next round of readings that I do. I'm also going to go live on the Midheaven podcast tomorrow. If you want to catch me there, Nina, I hope you enjoyed your reading. It's definitely really amazing. So, yeah, if no one else would like a reading, I will end right here. Thank you guys once again. I think you're going to enjoy what's to come of this retrograde. I know I will. All right. Y'all stay blessed as always. And until next time, peace.